Nice things to say. Reality, the real world probably doesn't necessarily work like that, but
not necessarily.
Some places I'm sure it does. But
there you go.
It's just funny things. People say funny things. I don't know.
Yeah, a lot of people saying a lot of
people say a lot of funny things.
All right, Obi, we rock and roll today.
Yes, sir. Great trading.
We killed it, man.
Yeah, what a wild market during the day.
Yeah.
Crazy.
No, that was exciting.
Like, when do you see that kind of excitement during the middle of the day? Absolutely wild. It's straight like, dump city.
Think about what we got to experience.
Yeah.
IBIT put in an
Ethereum run,
boom,
Bitcoin run,
big run, and then what happened? 40 an hour, reversion. 2 hours later, see you later. Yeah. It was essentially non-existent. Dara bringing us the news. It was a lot of fun. Yep. But nonetheless, guys, let's not leave you guys waiting any longer. We're going to hand it over to Neil and Sean.
Have a good weekend, guys. Take it easy.
Bang.
Make sure I'm not muted. This got way too deep in the midday. Everybody, this is the old chat. I actually have to get into the new chat because I'm not even there. But why do we park on driveways and drive on parkways? If you don't fight for your love, what kind of love do you have? I'm like, it got really deep. But I was just telling Sean, the whole setup early, like the early bird gets the worm, is another reason why you got to watch the wire. Straight up. Even in the game, they emphasize how getting there early makes all the difference in life and death in that situation. But the market has been bleeding profusely. And some of the Fed speak has not helped things at all, and you have to be willing to switch it up. I want to get back into Intel. It might be 37, but everything's bleeding right now, except for the diamonds is bleeding, but they're actually still green.
I saw the Dow, yeah.
The Dow's green. The Nasdaq's down 0.5. The ES is flat. The ES is actually, it might go green any second now. The diamonds is green still, even with the pullback. The ES is flat-ish, and it's the Nasdaq that's leading the way to the downside. I mean, it's definitely the Nasdaq that's giving it up the most, no questions. Where's the diamond?
No surprise there. We're in $7, $8 of overall winners right now. We came back from our little gym sesh there and just re-shorted. So when Neil's telling you the Nasdaq is down, yeah. And we've been posting it up as well. So congratulations to anybody that was short today. We had written down on here today all about the shorts. So we actually follow our rules, and we're back with a vengeance today. We still have, again, we have that 2.5% of AMD. AMD is now $6. What's up, Max? Now in the money. I am not, Andre, so give me 1 second here. So yeah, it's this is really all my. So right now, I basically have, it's about 4 to 5 times more that we've made on the TQs than I made on AMD. Those are the only 2 trades that we have on board right now. So far, so good there. There it is. All right. Let's do this. All right, so looking at futures trading platform that actually delivers without hitting costs, it is plus 500 futures. You get free live charts, transparent fees, low margins, and an unlimited demo, so you can practice until you are on fire. Open an account and start trading with as little as $100 with plus 500's powerful platform. You can access, of course, a wide range of futures markets, including what your boy's doing right now, the Nasdaq, the S&P 500, what Joey Options is doing over there, Bitcoin. You can trade gas, you can trade Forex, you can trade metals, and other crypto as well, actually, and all in one spot. You can enjoy right now a bonus of up to $200 in commission-free trading. Just please scan that QR code and apply for your account today. There are over 30 million users worldwide, Mr. Worldwide over there, that have already chosen plus 500. All right, Neil, this has been quite the day here as we just continue to bleed down to the downside right now. We just talked about being $6 in the money on AMD. We're now almost $6.50. Also a bleed in the Nasdaq downside right now. I still got this chart. I guess I reloaded my thing and it was there. Now it's not there again. So I don't know what keeps on happening with this chart over there. I'm going to have to figure that out. But yeah, it's been a day. That is for sure. We battled back from yesterday. Put up some numbers here today, and so far so good. So let's just hope that this shutdown, pending shutdown,
continuing
eventually.
Shutdown.
Yeah, not looming.
We didn't get those
current shutdown.
We had Fed speakers talking about how they're waiting for numbers that they're not getting because during the economic shutdown we didn't get our labor data, and I think the last time when there was that longer shutdown in 2019, like you had some data that was like 2 weeks delayed, and you had other ones which were like a month delayed. Either way, it puts the Fed on a wait and see, and then talking about it's going to be difficult for them to get cuts. The other thing I want to show this off. I don't know if the boys show this off.
I showed it yesterday.
Okay. Well, we got a new page here where I can just look at. Ooh, let's look at this. Like stonks, red or green Monday, SQQ calls. So when you guys put a question in there, what happened to Roblox? Well, I mean, without looking, Roblox went down today.
It did?
I mean, of course it did.
Oh.
No, I'm reading the questions here. It's great. So now when you put a question in, we can come in and we can highlight it, right? So you can send like a selected question.
This is nuts.
Like send a selected question. Does it work?
It does work. It goes on the screen. You got to send. So select it. Did you select it? Yeah,
I want this one and then hit send.
Yeah.
Did it work?
No.
All right. Well, that's let's blame me. Let's blame me for not testing that before.
It does.
So that's Neil's fault.
To work, though.
No, I'd swear it worked
It was
before,
working
man.
yesterday.
My bad. My bad.
Yeah, it's not working. I was.
No, I saw it work. I know.
Yeah.
I saw it work.
We'll have to
Anyway, I think it's a cool feature.
get that figured out. Yeah, very cool feature. Anyways, we just got it some more out here at the day's low right now.
Have any of those cookies?
No. Can't let it get killed.
All right. Still downside right there. All right. Who's doing the recap over there, Joe? We're not ready. Nobody's over there?
Oh, we're not doing the.
I don't know. Who knows, man? Who knows what's going on around this place? Okay, he's coming back. Okay. Joe's.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Joe's. Yeah, he's a little under the weather. He's going to get set up there and do the rundown for sure. See, now the funny thing is anytime someone puts a question in there, especially when it's jokes, I get to see it on there. Tommy Boy voice. What did you do? I don't do Tommy Boy. But I didn't do anything, man.
What the?
It wasn't me. But I think it's a great feature. Look, this market is absolutely blamed. But the question that we were highlighting there was market green or red Monday. I think that's a good question.
Okay.
But here's the thing, like, if you zoom out, let's zoom out for a quick little second on the Nasdaq. And we'll talk, when you say the market, I know we should be saying the SPY because that's more representative, I guess, of the broad market than the Nasdaq. But the Nasdaq moving the most today, so we should talk about the Nasdaq. We haven't even, like, how much have we given back? This Wednesday's lows are not even close. Like last week's lows were not even close. So like an automatic bound, we're nowhere close to like some big support levels or anything like that. And let's just, if you look at the Qs, I want to go to a daily. Like if you look at the Qs, it's not much of a dip. Like the last time we at least dipped for like 3 days before resuming the upward trend. So I don't think it's an automatic buy the dip here. Like we just made a fresh high. Like we can't pull back for a couple of days at least. I don't think I'm in automatic buy mode. Now obviously if over the weekend there's some kind of a deal that gets done to avert the government shutdown or end the government shutdown, I suppose that could give you, a bit of a bounce. But last time we made a high, we pulled back for several days before getting kind of a bounce. And we're not really into any key levels. We haven't, like I said, we have not even gone to any support from the prior week. So I still think we have more room to go, barring some kind of change in news or sentiment like overnight.
Yeah, today on our watch list, we had a couple different things to talk about, right? We had Tesla that was up to start the day today. Jesus. Oh, man. Yeah, we should have been already short 445, but not that that would matter. We probably would have been out by now, but there it goes, man. Nice move to the downside. Wow, we are really starting to accelerate here to the downside. So we're pretty happy with today's performance, obviously. But yeah, there's the move down. I'm going to see if I can actually get this locked and loaded here and see if I can get another chart to populate here for me. But it should open up right over here. See if it does. 1, 2, 3. No. Okay. But yeah, Tesla just continues to bleed. And yesterday we took the long when we tried to break through this 200 period moving average. We haven't even come close to that today. Yeah, the movement, just continuation from yesterday. Oh boy, man, AMD is getting worse and worse right now, down to 163. Now, holy. All right, I think I had a 5-minute chart over here, so I'm just gonna put on here a 5-minute chart. We'll type in here AMD to get this going again for us, and it's gonna have all the wrong indicators and everything, but we'll just go like that for now. Try to watch it out.
What you can do, just leave that one as the default.
Yeah, and then just bring it down to here. Yeah, that is what I'll probably wind up doing. I think it is actually what they're doing right now. So there goes AMD down 3.5% and still bleeding. Crypto had a nice little run today for sure, man.
No, IBIT got like $200-300 from the all-time high.
Yeah, you were checking that out. I'm not sure, but that's still.
Well, I eyeballed it. I just
$200 or $300. Oh, okay. Because now we're 3,000 away
super
now.
Close.
So we've had a nice dump then in IBIT, I guess. Yeah, $70. Yeah, that would make sense. So IBIT came, yeah, IBIT looks like it took it out, but I think when we made the record high, it was the over the weekend, so IBIT didn't get to react to that. So that is a brand new. I mean, regardless of what Nasdaq did or what Bitcoin did, there was a brand new all-time high today in IBIT. So congratulations for that call there as well. And we can check out on Ethereum. I mean, we have the trades in right now. You know, I'm not gonna keep talking about the shorts that we have. We're going to look for other trades. So it's like Bitcoin rocking, Ethereum not. I was going to say, you know, the other way around, but Ethereum continues to hold fort here, 33.50. We'll see if there's a level of concern there. I'd be a little concerned about Ethereum right now, not performing to the same likes as crypto with Bitcoin, but you know, still a nice move. We'll see if it can break out that 36 over the weekend. Maybe this is the catch-up trade sort of with Ethereum. Maybe you can catch something here. I don't know.
You know what's weird?
Yeah, just because maybe it has a pickup to go. What?
Like last week, and some Coinbase did something because I all of a sudden started getting all kinds of notifications for any type of price action.
Oh, they updated? Yeah, maybe there's settings that they're.
Yeah, but it would be like this just moved 5%. So like every time something moved like 5% that I held, like I was literally, I just started getting like every single day notifications about every token that I hold. I'm like, well, I didn't opt into this nonsense. Anyways, that's just neither here nor there. Just very quickly with this little bit of a bounce, I got eyeballs on Plug. Plug's trying to bounce off the volume weighted average price. So if this can hold VWAP, and maybe resume that upward trend. This could be one to watch. As we are going to go to Joe, let's get the rundown started, see what you guys are interested in talking about.
Good afternoon, all, and welcome to the Afternoon Rundown, the segment where you guys get to pick about the stocks we talk about. So make sure you get in the chat with Obi and I, come Monday morning with Sharif and I, and get those votes in. All right, guys, on the top of the list today, we have, yes, Tesla. But, hey, our tech bull, Dan Ives, is obviously liking it, saying that Tesla could possibly hit a $3 trillion market cap by 2026. So that's a pretty bullish outlook. And I was listening to some things as well, too. Approximately 30 robo-taxis can be produced to each 6 Waymos, which is really, really positive for Tesla's production and to scale the autonomy as well, too. Those delivery numbers coming in fantastic. Those were already priced in. You're starting to see some selling in Tesla over the past couple of sessions, guys.
Yeah, it's selling. Like yesterday, like that was the one chart that stood out. That stood out the most yesterday when I was off. Not feeling well. Oh no, what's up with this wick? I got rid of you and now you're back. 15-minute for the win? Yes. All right, I can look at this without that. I hate those wicks. No, Tesla yesterday was absolute and utter nonsense. Like, you had the deliveries, which I guess was a sell the news type of event, which I can respect. Like you buy, it goes and buys, pretty much heavy buying going into the big delivery number. Like this broke out deep from September and then you had some continuation and one leg down, and that's a heavy reversal candle. So ideally, I don't know, I think I know I was looking for like 50 to 53 or some nonsense to the upside for a fade. Just kind of looking at this level here and saying, yeah, you could pop and fade into that. So what is next for Tesla at this moment? Because you've got a reversal, you're sitting at what has been the local support, which is around the 415 level, and we've already had one bounce. So I think it feels like you've made a temporary bottom, it's given up the entirety of the move, and we've gone back to the range-bound trade from where we're parabolic, and now you're just waiting to see what happens next. Will the buyers be able to support this? Because if you lose 415 on Monday, Then I think we had a viewer saying 340, and I was like, well, the next looks like 360 to me. But if you lose that, it doesn't matter. You're headed somewhere in that 300 range. Maybe the 360s where you can start picking it up again. So this is a classic sell the news event. Deliveries were good, but you rallied into it. It's kind of like treat it like earnings. Sometimes it's just what happens.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. We had written down here again today, like we only have 2 trades on, but we should have had 3. And I'm going to keep talking about it because we nailed the price. I mean, look, we started tweeting about these Qs and AMD, man, a long time ago. But there it is right there, Tesla, 445 short. Bad price action yesterday, just as Neil had mentioned. Look to see if we get some resistance at the weekly level. And we did. We got 445. That was great resistance level there. And we absolutely nailed that talk. And boom, to the downside right there. So I got to, oh yeah, that's right. I got to change this over to, it has to, here, you can do this with our charts. You just go like this. And then this, we got to link it, right? So we got to link this to customization. And then we're going to link our chart, which is right here, to number 1. So that way, every time we change her up, we should get a result that we're looking for right here. But anyways, I don't know why. I'll have to fix my charts. But Tesla price action today, yeah, pretty, I'm going to say like pretty sketchy. Like, I mean, just straight down, like it didn't really catch a bid at all, right? Until eventually it did around 11 o'clock. Let me see what the market did around 11 o'clock. Yeah, so they catch a little bit of, that's 10:30, 11 o'clock. Yeah, okay, so Tesla for some reason caught a bid when the market didn't. Didn't even get to VWAP. Whoa. Yesterday we tried. I don't know if you guys saw me yesterday. It's funny that we had the day we had yesterday and then we come back and have the day we're having today. But we tried that break right there yesterday thinking that it was enough, and that was at 5 o'clock and that there was more to go. But instead it was the complete opposite. That was just resistance levels. So I'm feeling like today we should probably think about the same type of thing. So if this comes up to 425, which it could get to, right? Right now it's another $5 to the upside, then that would be another reload or the first trade to go short. And if it breaks through and doesn't give us that same action, then we can simply slip out of it again, right? So we'll do that, but not breaking long. I'm gonna try to get the short this time on it. Just really bad for Tesla. You know, they saw the number and they sold it off. It just touched all-time highs yesterday. You know, and then now today you've had a couple of days, now you're down over 10%, 480 to 420. It's not good, man, down $60. So I can't be like all happy about this play, but it is what it is at this point. Tesla downside, and you're just gonna have to live with it. It's had a huge run up, and that's why we always say, like, take profits if and when you see them. And right now it looks like we're seeing some on Tesla, and they're taking it. So 425. The next little spot to get out. I'm pretty close right now to stopping out of this AMD for just $6. 164.60. I'm gonna put that in right now, 164. Let's go 66. We'll go offer, enter, bid that. So now, once we break through, I don't even have to look at it because obviously we'll be doing other things. AMD, a break of that, and we'll take the $6 and put it in our pocket, okay? We're pretty light now on this trade. We actually did really well getting out on the way down. Fortunately, I was out talking with my mother on the phone, so I didn't see this whole play. But thankfully, we came back and punched immediately, got some out, and then this happened. So that was a good call for us. But yeah, looking to get some more out of the TQs. But we're very, very light on all of these positions. So. All right, it's LAC time.
Before we go, the headline on PBA and Meta.
All right.
Meta and Pembina near deal to build massive Alberta AI data center.
There we go.
So PBA up. This was a volume spike just a few minutes ago. I wonder where Kevin owns that land. And anyway,
probably exactly where they're building.
You know, that's the first thing that came to my mind.
Me too. As soon as you said Alberta, I was just like, oh god.
But I have no idea.
Here we go.
I have
to talk to this guy about his watches
not
again.
Not familiar about that. But anyways, PBA doing massive volume on that news. No other details in that. I don't know like the size, like how much money is being spent or anything along those lines. But PBA up 5% and continuing a big volume spike there. Meta on that news. I mean, Meta doesn't move that much. It's usually going to be. You know, when you're dealing with a Mag 7 name, it's somebody else that gets the benefit in a deal like that. Let's go talk some LAC where the government is the one providing the benefits.
Yeah.
All right, guys, LAC has most definitely been in play for the past couple of sessions. You can see it throughout today's intraday session. And if we go back in the past a little bit, on Tuesday, September 30th, we had some post-market PA as well, too. But also moving today on some of the headlines, guys, Lithium America's share companies trading higher, just reaching an agreement with General Motors and the Department of Energy regarding its draw in that loan with the Department of Energy, guys, LAC.
I was just saying, if you own land somewhere where they're putting a data center up and you get to sell that, like, anyways, LAC, what more can you say? This stock is going to perform better this year than the Clippers.
Yep.
I guess that's not a big statement, is it? The Clippers have an okay team.
No, but I mean, no NBA team is going to perform better than LAC this year, than that stock.
Yeah, that's fair.
You know.
That's fair. Because you can't go undefeated.
No.
And no one's breaking the record or anything like that. But LAC, the continuation is here. Like, let's be real, anytime, and it didn't even have to have a crazy headline this morning. Like, the next time you see a runner or this style of a runner go sideways and consolidate and show a bid like this, which I didn't notice. Like, it's crazy. Look at it, hold the bid. 2 days, you get a double bottom, and then just clean breakout trade. And the thing is, whether it works or not, you break out the prior day high. That's like an 18 with the pre-market low, like 20 cents lower. Like, and there's so much room to get to 8. So the pullback right now is held well above prior highs. This is like 788 or something like that, and then the wick highs are like 815, 820. So as long as that's true, like, that's a lot of strength as far as I'm concerned. A close above 850 would be also pretty bullish. So let's see if this can hold on to VWAP. Like, I'm in lug off of VWAP. So I guess this will be kind of confusing, but yeah, this is not covering a short. This is actually getting into the long, out of the short here, and then into a long on plug. But LAC is a very similar look. Like, pulled back not very far relative to the day it had, trying to get back above VWAP. If the volume was better, might not be a bad VWAP long. But I think this story's not over. And the other thing you have to consider is, we saw it with, what was it, USAR,
yeah,
right? Where now you're talking about what are the other companies that can get the benefit, instead of just who already has gotten an investment. Like, we know the pattern here, and certainly there's a concerted effort right now to lock in resources and lock in U.S. production, and they benefited from it. You got to start thinking about who can be next. We already saw it with USAR today.
All right. Yeah, just what's up, Maricus 100 there. He says, thanks, Sean, for teaching me better habits. I'm like, hey, no problem, man, anytime. But I don't really know what exactly the habits that you formed from me, but I do appreciate all of that. And I hope it's maybe, patience and discipline and all that kind of stuff. And I hope it's about talking about some of the stocks that we're trading there. But yeah, this USAR today, I mean, I was saying that, like, was kind of upset, not upset, but just commenting that, we should have had this already, and now today upside. So I just want, like, if anybody else in the chat has anything about, setting up sell orders at key levels, yeah, you're welcome. I mean, hey, man, props to you. Me and Neil are just doing what we're doing. I mean, we talk about our strategies all the time, and that's why you can easily ask us how successful these strategies are, but it's you that are putting in the orders. So, Maricus, man, great job there. And keep up the good work. But yeah, USAR, I mean, you want to talk about putting orders at key levels. What about right here? I mean, this 25, 30 area, we came in, we bounced off there pre-market, we bounced off there right off the open, and now we're coming back in. So for me, I would rather play this as a short with the market bleeding a little bit there and thinking about if we break that, then where do we go from the bottom? So for me on USAR, I think it's another downside push. But I wanted to ask everybody in the chat, like, maybe there's other names that we should be looking at, because MP got the buy months and months ago from the U.S. government, and it was upside ever since then. And we're going out, we're not today, but we were just at all-time highs on MP, right? And the U.S. government gets involved down here back in May, June, right? And then just rips to the high side and keeps on going. Then we get the U.S. government involved in LAC, a Canadian company, and we saw that movement was from $3 or $4, I believe, where we started, all the way to $9. And then we get today, the involvement again, potentially, I guess, in USAR. And then that's ripping to the high side right now. So there's probably going to be other plays similar to this. So I think that's what we have to do, is do our research and try to figure out where the next one is. Because whether or not you got any of the quantum names or any of the nuclear names, they all tend to work together. So, you know, I think that's something else to look for. So we'll be doing that. Okay, we just got out of AMD, and that wraps that trade. So right there, out at 164, man. The bears will ride again, but there's the out. We told you we were going to try to follow that 50-period moving average, so we wind up doing that out on AMD. Short 170 as it was written. Shut it to Nas. I can't take credit for that. And the rest, as we say, is history. So great trade there for me today on AMD. Let's go find out what's going on with Plug.
Yeah, what's the story?
All right, guys, lots going on with Plug here today. You can see from an intraday standpoint, you're getting a beautiful move to the top side, just like the overall market starting to come back in. But HC Wainwright reiterating its target, almost doubling it from $3 to $7. So the multiple upgrades are most definitely fueling this fire here on Plug Power. And also to note, guys, new 52-week high on Plug. What do you guys think about it?
All right.
Well, yeah, the 52-week highs. Oh, it just snuck it in there. Sneak it in, because that top was right there in January on Plug. This is a stock that it's got a temporary bottom. I zoomed it out a little bit too far, but to kind of really demonstrate the point that you've made the curl, you've made the turn, and you're now breaking out second level. So breakout 1, breakout 2, close above 340 would be a very positive sign here. We'll see if we can. I mean, it's trying to hold the volume-weighted average price as we speak. This was, you know, to be honest, like this was one of those when the market was like really starting to accelerate. I was like, well, what's setting up a bit of a curl? And so essentially, it was along the lines of this is what happened at 12. See the heavy candle on the Nasdaq when everything just really started to go south. I was like, well, what is setting up a trend break right now? And like the only stock that was on my watch list that was setting up one of those, what happened to be Plug. So I just punched short and Plug. But now looking for the long on VWAP, trying to hold it under this support, see if you can't get something back into the upside. But I like this on the daily chart on Plug Power. Let me forget about valuation, all that, and forget about the $7 price target. As long as this can close, holding out 340 or so, it has a decent shot at some continuation on Monday for next week. Is it probably due for a pullback and consolidation? Sure, but that's not a bad thing. If it pulls off the highs, finds a decent consolidation somewhere, and then you get the next leg up. You already saw this do that just the last week, and look where it is now. It's 50% in just a matter of a few days. So yeah, it's got some room to go. Decent short float as well, can give it some juice, but you got to take your profit in steps with plays like this. Like I'm not thinking this is some kind of long-term, in my opinion, play.
Karthik in the chat wants to know a little bit about Costco, and yeah, like I've been in this name for a long time. It's one of those like sort of they use the term like dividend aristocrats, but this is just like a portfolio aristocrat. I don't really ever get out of this name, so I'm still in it and been in it for probably 20 years, to be honest with you. It's one of the first names. I told the story about my father used to basically go from 50 to 100 back and forth with Costco for a while. And obviously that was 25 years ago, or if not more. And now it's actually, I haven't really even appreciated that much, to be honest with you, but up to $1,000. So yeah, I think this is getting interesting because I love the space. I love Costco in this space. I don't really necessarily like retail. I own Lululemon and Costco. Those might be the only two. And you know, we talked about my Lulu trade too long ago. Oh, and Amazon. Yeah, Amazon.
They count.
Yeah, why not? I like Amazon. Okay, so anyways, just right into here, 915. Amazon would be my favorite. 900 right into there. Yeah, I think you guys are right. I don't think there's any problems with buying this. The only thing is like, you know, when you're underneath all this stuff, like the 50 period, the 200 period, like there is more possible downside. And I just think that, and I saw someone in the chat, and I got to give credit wherever it was, someone in the chat there said, as long as you have a stop there. Yeah, and I think maybe breaking through 900, I mean, that could happen in the next couple of days. Like if this shutdown continues to loom over everybody in the States there, you know, the buying power of Costco's customers, although I know they're a little higher end, the customer like higher income level potentially, than a Walmart. Although I think they said the average customer now in Walmart is pushing, you know, 6 figures as an income. Right into here, 920. I like these levels, but I think it's a good opportunity to dump out of this if it breaks through 900. So yeah, I think this for a couple percentage points, it might be worth it. But I was just going to say, like, that 900 might be a little bit. So I would almost even go down to 870, 875 and change, because if you bring the pain, you know, you just have to say, like, will we actually get lower than this, right? This goes all the way back basically to August of last summer. So yeah, I would think that you're getting quite the nice deal if you're able to pick some Costco up in and around here.
Yeah, it's only going down to that 860 if the pain's hardcore to the brain.
And that's what I was saying. Like you have to watch. Is that Insane in the Membrane?
No, I came to bring the pain hardcore to your brain.
Right,
Let's go inside my astral plane.
Is that Method? Who did I?
No, it is. Shoot, it's not meth. It's
Wu-Tang?
It's Wu.
Yeah, okay. I have to figure out who it is.
But
okay, we're close. We're in the same.
Man, you know I'm not feeling well.
Same genre, right here.
It is meth, right?
I mean, that was my guess.
I must be sick.
You know, I saw Method Man live a couple times. All right, so anyways, 900. Hey, I like Costco. I know Costco's not on the board, but Neil covered Plug Power for like 5 minutes there and did all the work.
You said 900? I like 880 on Costco.
Oh, yeah, no. I mean, I'm just saying,
this
like,
looks like a great buy.
The thing is that what I've learned and what you've learned and what we always talk about is sometimes you miss the bid by like 5% or 2% or something, and then you look back and the stock's up 20% and you're like, what have I done? You know, so that's what I'm saying. Like, if you take a shot at 9 bills, maybe reload it or get more, dollar cost average down at 880, 875, things like that. I think at the end of the day, don't do that, Neil. I don't know if you know what that means.
What did I do?
You don't know what this is?
Oh, okay.
6-7. It's that whole 6-7. Thank God my kids don't do that.
I'm sorry.
Honestly. Like when the baseball team was doing that, I was just like, and then the funny thing was our team wound up losing 6-7 that game. I was like, you guys are a bunch of idiots.
There's too much of
like
this
you see, it's like all comes back to you, and they're 12 and 14 years old, so it's not like they're idiots to that extent. But they were just doing it all game, and I was like, we had to make them stop. But
I'm old.
Anyways,
shout out to Ojan, everybody. Each year, how am I segueing that? 3.8 million concussions are reported in the U.S., yet there is still no FDA-approved treatment. NYSE-listed Oragenics, OGEN, is changing that with its first-in-class intranasal drug designed for rapid brain access. With the concussion treatment market projected to reach $8.9 billion by 2027, Oragenics is uniquely positioned to lead the way. Learn more and schedule a meeting today. And hopefully all will be good in the hood, which it was. Most of the day.
Oh, P. Diddy got 6 years, somebody said. His thing was today, the sentencing. I was hoping, the maximum they were looking for was 11. I was hoping
6 years,
that he wound up getting 11, but I guess he didn't. So, yeah, we'll find that out. Someone in the chat just said that. I have no idea. I was just
seems like
someone in the chat.
I don't know.
I'm gonna go to Instagram. Someone I'm following will probably have it up like TMZ or something.
Nobody. I guess I don't follow the right people on X.
No, I mean, even on Instagram, I don't see it anywhere here.
I think that's maybe not true.
Maybe it's not.
Because it would be on my feed somewhere if that was true.
Yeah. All right, let's go back over to the desk.
All right, guys. Yeah, I don't know what's going on over there at the big desk. They're talking a lot about 6-7, Diddy. I had a lot going on. But anyways, what's going up is, whoa. All right, what's going up today at some point was Robinhood, guys, touching into that $150 level. Yes, getting fuel to the fire. We have B of A, Securities, and Morgan Stanley maintaining an equal weight rating. So it's getting upgrades left, right, and center, guys. We like seeing that. Some lifting the price target up to $157 and some to $146. Some really good looks in Robinhood. Do you trim some or do you continue to hold? Let's see what the guys think.
I feel the same way I do about this. Is to me the same as trimming SoFi. It's coming to my brain. Trimming SoFi recently. It's the same thing. Like if you weren't trimming some in front of 150, like I don't know. Like that just means that you wouldn't be trimming. Like you're never trimming, in my opinion. It's holding up really, really well today. No questions asked. Like it's an absolute burner. They've got recently with going into event contracts have been blowing up, and this has been, you know, that little death keel people have been talking about for DraftKings, and they've been getting the benefit from it. So they're kind of firing on all cylinders here, like nabbing you in every single way. But come on, like at some point, I think you would ring the register, or at least take some profit if you had to. But look at the strength. Like it dips right into prior support, like yesterday's close in the morning. It dips when the market tanks into yesterday's close. To stay green, that's exactly where you'd want support. And only because I mentioned it, like look at the difference between it and SoFi. Like there was a minute when these were kind of running together.
Ooh.
Not anymore. Well, if you wanted SoFi at the 50-period moving average, you just got it today. And knock on wood, for now it's a wick at 25. And the 50-period moving average. That can be, a lot can change in 90 minutes, but for now, SoFi just wicked the 50-period moving average on the daily. It's Robinhood's world. Personally, I don't own any Robinhood, so it's easy for me to say that I would take profit on it, but I certainly did recently when SoFi made some fresh highs. I think it's crazy not to. I haven't decided whether I want to buy this at the 50-period moving average, or I think maybe it could be headed lower on SoFi's case. But Hood, yeah, ring the register, at least something.
Up in that hood. All right, so thanks for putting this up there about Oscar. What in the hell is going on? We're going to talk about UNH in a minute, but I have taken nothing out here. Well, we took something out around 18 bucks, but nothing significant. There's Oscar. We bought it down here, everybody, and now it's up here. So I'm just checking the account. We are in the money now, 64%, and I'm thinking about, I am going to trim. So that's why I got the phone out right now. I'm going to trim this Oscar position. Nice move to the upside. Let's go get that story about Robinhood.
What? Yeah, the Robinhood. We'll go on to the next one there, Katina, man. That is going to be on UNH, United Health. So we have shareholder wanting chairman and CEO roles separated, according to Bloomberg. But guys, take a look at this chart. You are now up 53% off of those August lows. Not too bad of a look. You're now filling some daily gaps as well, too. Where is that next level? Let's be patient, wait and see. What do you guys think of UNH?
Well, this is another one. Like if I hadn't already, I would be, I think I said this morning, or if I didn't say it this morning, I said it on, would have been yesterday, so I guess Wednesday. Yeah. I would have said it on Wednesday. Like if you haven't taken any profit here, and I'm talking specifically myself from like the $300 level, because to me, I don't have any of these bottoms. Like I tried the 300 level the first time and ended up with a flat trade, which if you swing trade a flat trade, like you hold it for a while. So you take the L because you could literally put it in anything else and make something. But the second time through's been good, and it's got step one. Step two would be this move into the 400 level and the 200 period moving average. So there's nothing about UNH's move that screams, oh, it's slowing down or anything, but this is resistance. And I mean, technically, like it's underneath 360. Like this is looking like it could be a reversal candle to me. So if I hadn't taken some off the swing, I'd be doing so. And I would have done so somewhere in the 60s. So yeah, it could stand to maybe consolidate for a bit, but the trend is still pretty solid here. I think we are headed to that 400 level, favor the longs. It's not just UNH, like healthcare has stood out in terms of relative strength this week. Every time we've pulled back, so that falls into this category. Although you can maybe make the argument that it was some of the drug names that were a little bit stronger, specifically than say UNH. But yeah, like the stock, still think we'll hold some of the long to get a push to the 400 level and the 200 period moving average here on UNH. But no
nice,
trade,
great trade on
no
UNH.
No day trade though at all on this. Well, I think the bigger thing has been
Oscar.
No, well, I mean, just in theme-wise.
Oh, yeah.
Theme-wise, I'm saying, has been like what's going on with some of the drug names. Like Lilly and Pfizer have made like what I think is, well, Pfizer in particular has actually made like a pretty interesting jump, and might be starting something. I don't want to say special, but Pfizer might be back in the decent graces here, because that's a pretty big jump. Now you're consolidating over some prior lows, and you might have a nice little move, 27 to 32. Someone asked me what I'm doing, like, let us know what you're doing with SoFi. I'm like, I haven't decided if I want to buy SoFi at the 50 period or wait for lower, but I'm starting to think about maybe I want to take a shot in Pfizer. I used to own this during COVID. This is one heck of a curl if this is the bottom on Pfizer. Like, I'm probably more inclined to take a shot at this at 27 and just say if it loses the 200 period moving average, then I'm out for less than 10% risk. And maybe you get a nice little jaunt into the 30s, which would be, that gives you better than 1-to-1. So yeah, I'm leaning toward this over SoFi. I'll make a decision on SoFi probably next week, but I might buy this one at the close.
All right, we did something similar so we sold some SoFi at 29 bucks. So we're already done that. And I mean, just as Neil was talking about it, I actually put my money into Oscar because I thought it was better than UNH, different name, just had more get up to it. So yeah, man, we'll take that 60% and we just put it in our pocket right now at 21.30, 21.22. We just got out at 21.22 actually on that. Here, look at this. I want to send a question. There it is. So it's working now. So Abhishek, what's going on, man? Oscar is now holding the $21. What's our next level that it can zoom to? Well, I think you're looking up here, man. Honestly, all time, I don't even know if it's all-time highs, but these highs right into here of $23. We bought Oscar down here. I actually was checking, it's $13.64, not $12.64 that we are in at. So it's a nice bounce up to the upside right now for that stock. And I think Oscar, Abhishek, that there is a 23 level coming for it. I mean, if UNH is going to rip, Oscar's going to rip. So that was a great call, and I'm just getting some out right now. And SoFi, like I'd mentioned before, here I got to get rid of that clear. There it goes. Okay, so SoFi, of course, is on Nasdaq. So there it is right there. Yeah, just looking at this one. So like I said, we had gotten out already at 29. We did a live on the show similar to what we just did there with Oscar, but I think it's getting close now, down to the 50 period moving average. Remember, our first out was 24. You know, then our next out was 29. So you got to like try to average that out. You know, I'm never going to pick the tops and bottoms or anything. Like I'm not that guy, but you know, as far as an investor, I think we've been doing pretty good so far, which makes me think about Marvell maybe. I need to start trimming some of that out. Actually, maybe I'm going to do that right now on Marvell. Yeah, I don't do things, you know, on the fly like this. Let's go over to Adara.
Yeah, I just want to let you guys know, sounds like these shutdown-related votes are, in fact, underway. Here's the market. A Fox reporter posted on X that the House has not formally decided to return next week. They're waiting for the Senate to pass this House-passed bill. I will say right now that what I am seeing is this U.S. Senate has already rejected the Democratic government funding bill. So it looks like that's been rejected. If we get more updates, I will keep you all posted, but I am keeping an eye on this, guys. Back to you.
You got to clear it.
Thank you very much, Adair. We got a couple super chats in here. One from Tomas Kondo. What do we think BBAI is doing? Rally or back to 5? And then Hercules Jack. Hercules.
Yeah.
Rigetti is going. Yeah, it is. Rigetti is now $40 and absolutely booming. And the quantum names have been in play today, no questions asked. Let's get to BBAI because that already broke out.
Strongest of all armies.
Better than the open. Well,
yes.
Today the open army might win, but I think that's only because open army. Open Door had an update today. At least last I checked, it had an update today. I'll double check in a second. Where do we think BBAI is heading? 5 or highs? Well, rally or back to 5? I mean, it's a pretty good higher low hold. Like the way I see, yeah, I mean, I would think the support right now is kind of at the 6 level until proven otherwise. Like, you know, 5 has been good because that's a 200 period moving average. And why is this not showing the 200? There we go. I just wanted to zoom it out so you can see like how influential the 200 period moving average has been on the stock. Like it's been great at the 200 period moving average. Really not many closes underneath. So yeah, that's the better overall level. But I also like the pivot off of this 6 level. Pivot, support to resistance, and now it's a 50 period. So I think that's your short-term support. And all systems go. Even on a down day, it holds a higher low. And you didn't put an upward target, but I think it has a better chance of seeing up here in the high 8s based on trend, at least, than testing that 5 from where we're at. And just because of my morbid curiosity, is Open Door still? Yeah, it's still kind of up. Oh man, that actually Open Door gave a lot back.
Oh, did it?
Oh yeah. Open Door was up at that 880, right back into $8. So 810 here on open door. Still up 2% because of where it was yesterday, but the open army, okay, I guess, today. I mean, they're not red, so there's that at least. But there was a, oh shoot, where was it?
Sold Marvell.
Well, this is not even, this is probably addressed to Sean, but I just wanted to make sure this works.
Yeah, go, try it. There
So
it is.
why buy Oscar when Humana, CNC, and MOH have actual value? Momentum. It's the same reason, like I'll say this right now. Like this, you can answer it yourself, but it's the same reason why I own some SMH, despite the fact that I think GEV is a better investment, long-term investment. Like I don't mind owning both. One of them is going to give me a chance to get fantastic. Well, I mean, maybe not the best example because GEV kind of went parabolic more than I would have expected. But like sometimes you take the trade that is the momentum play, and other times you want the one that's a safer bet. You're not going to get the same percentage return, but you think you're not going to get rugged at some of the levels because it has a better chance to be supported. Like there's room for all different types of trades and investments. Like that's why you'd be in. You can like Google or IBM for quantum. But then you can also have some shots in like a Rigetti or a QBTS or a IONQ. Right? Like they're different. Sometimes you get a little more juice out of the smaller float one that's more of a growth play, which is fine.
So we just raised more capital with Marvell. We just double checked it, man. We're up 30% on our trade. So we're gonna get some out as it's broken back through some levels there on Marvell. I just, as this government shutdown looms, I'm just gonna start to get some out here. The market's at an all-time high valuation, like the market in general. To me, it's not time to buy, and if it's not time to buy, then maybe it's time to sell. It's probably time to sit on your hands. I'm literally getting out of like 10 or 15% when I talk about Oscar. Here, you gotta clear it.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, or I can clear it. Just the button beside it. There we go. Just to that point, the reason why I really bought Oscar was it was a name that I always wanted to get into, and I'd actually heard a lot of you traders talking about it. And then once it came back up to this level, like I was not in this name even in June. It fell down there. And it was just before earnings, and I was like, I'm gonna try to take some spots here on Oscar. And we did it, and it started to just basically moon off of there. And it's the same thing of like Charles Schwab versus Robinhood or any of these other things. This is a new business. I don't have Oscar Health here or anything like that. All I did was look it up. It's an app. You can book your appointments and I guess check your coverage. Like, I don't even really, to be honest with you, I'm not a macro guy on this stock at all. I just was in this space, and I am taking it for that swing trade. So what I could do is make 65% on this and then throw it into UNH, or throw it into Bitcoin or throw it into whatever. Like I just double checked the Bitcoin ETF that I hold is like up huge as well. Like if I thought Bitcoin's going to stop right here, then you could get out and wait for it to reload or whatever. And I just think there's a spot to take shots in your portfolio. Like if you don't take a shot in your portfolio, then maybe you don't have Palantir down in those lows. You don't have Rigetti. I just got a message today. I wish I could show it on air, but my friend told me, he goes, "Can you believe I had 30,000 shares of Rigetti at 71 cents?" And I can believe it because he told me when he had that. I can show you the text from a year and a half ago when he was talking quantum with me, and he got out at $1.50 and he made bank. He made a huge amount of money. But if you have 30,000 shares of Rigetti and now you're up $40 times 30,000, so what is that? 1.2, 40,000, 30,000 shares times $40. Yeah, $1.2 million. And you know how long that took you to make that? And again, 30,000 shares at 70 cents, he put in 20 grand. But 20 grand to make 1.2 million, that was less than a year it took to do that. So this dude just made he doesn't have it, he's out. Okay, most traders would be out of this. But this is why you take shots on different stock. You never know what's gonna pop and drop and all of that. So you wanna make sure that you get out on the pop before the drop. And then you want to lock it and pop it and all that stuff too, right? So shout out to Sharif, our resident breakdancer.
I believe the correct response was then you shut them down, open up shop.
Yeah. Whoa. Yeah. It's a rough rider's roll.
That's how Adara rolls.
Are we going to Adara?
Are we? I think so.
All right.
Yeah, we are.
This part of the show is brought to you by our friends over at Beta Pro by Global X Canada. We have some exciting news for sophisticated Canadian traders. Beta Pro by Global X Canada has just launched 6 new triple leveraged ETFs, offering 3 times bull and 3 times bear exposure to the S&P TSX 60, semiconductors, and U.S. Treasuries. But even better, they are offering a special rebate fee or special fee rebate, dropping management fees to just 65 basis points until December 31st, 2025. These ETFs also employ currency hedging to seek to neutralize U.S. dollar exposure, which provides performance that may more accurately reflect the underlying U.S. equity indices. So if you are a tactical, sophisticated trader looking to amplify your performance, check out betapro.ca/3xdaily to learn more. Back to you.
Yep, makes
so
sense.
This morning we were looking at the Kalshi has the odds on how long the government shutdown will last, and it was hovering at 15 for most of the morning, and then right at noon, you can see it spiked from the projection of 15 days to was just 18.8, now 18.4. That is exactly the same candle, like right at noon when the market reversed. So this is worth watching and having up. The only annoying thing is, I don't think I can look at this on a lower time frame, and I wonder how responsive it might be. But it's good to look at. Because right now it seems like the market cares how long the shutdown is going to be. A few people were just mentioning. I saw a bunch of Archer in the chat, and so went over and like, oh, well, what's a small capper that might be actually going in the right direction, like the upside? Because when the market's weak, sometimes you can find that strength in the afternoon. And I looked over, see Archer in the chat, it's kind of doing not much off the highs, and volume is coming out of it a little bit here. And let's go back to Rigetti maybe. Maybe it's a Rigetti. Like Rigetti maybe pulling back in a prior high and bouncing because that's $40. That might be worth a shot. Oh, Showtime. Josh Brown was punching.
Oh, he must be long.
Was pumping Archer. But usually the Josh Brown pick stuff is in the middle of the day.
Yeah, 12 noon.
Yeah, like that wouldn't have been. You're not talking about just now because he doesn't. Actually, I don't know. But I'm used to you get those at noon, right? So if he's talking about it right now, that would be good to know. But yeah, it's good to know sometimes because when you get that kind of a bump in the middle of the day, sometimes you don't want to be chasing it if that's the reason. But, Archer can be a good stock. I just want to see if Rigetti can hold on to these prior highs at the 40 level. Get a couple of closes above and show some consolidation. That could be worth like a little bit of a scalp trade back into the high of the day. And it's this one. D-Wave also doing pretty good. QBTS. Yeah, QBTS. Oh, this was the worst trade for me. Because I had QBTS at the high, like I'll throw a stop in there. Yeah. And I wasn't sitting here when it just right back in. Like it doesn't, like you have to have a stop. Like I would never not stop it at the high of the day. The difference is it's getting back in if you're sitting there ready for it. But I wasn't. I actually was away from my desk at that moment. But Archer is flying at the California Air Show this weekend, says Elaine Pratt.
Oh, okay.
I don't know how much that could be a catalyst. The air show. I love the air show.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a really cool.
I still can't believe they do them, to be honest with you, with all the environmental worries. But
well, if you think about it from a fuel standpoint, and
yeah, that is what
I see what you're getting at. But
well, I mean, whatever. It's a celebration of.
There's a really cool thing at Billy Bishop tomorrow, which we might not be able to go because we're going to the Jays game. It's called Girls Take Flight at Billy Bishop, where you get to go, you learn about flying. There's like simulator stuff and like Aaron's.
My eldest has flown planes. So.
Yeah, well,
Baxter,
well, that's why I was sort of saying, like, I don't know if you guys have been. We just found out about it. But Aaron's, like, loosely kind of starting to like the notion of flying. So we'll see. Like, I have a cousin who, I have multiple cousins that are actual pilots. And so, like, they're always talking about it. And she's like, whatever, if you're interested, then we'll sign you up for this. But unfortunately, we want to get to the game early because they have the gates open tomorrow, like well before the game starting. So we'll probably have to pass it up.
There we go, David. Yeah, I mean, this is the kind of stuff that we're talking about right now. What I would be doing myself. I mean, not what I would be doing. I'm not going this much down. Over the last month or so, I moved from 50% to 25% equities. Yeah, good job, man. I mean, I think that's, again, everybody, like if you're getting nervous about where this market is, I mean, if you hold equities right now, then yeah, I mean, your portfolio should be like pretty much near highs, I would think. I mean, obviously there's going to be individual stocks that continue to be a little different. I keep running into Mateo in the back. He's like, how's the port doing? How's the port doing? I'm like, what are you talking about? Like wine or whatever? Like what? The port? No, I was like, yeah, the port's doing.
Still aging. And
the port is doing great. And I keep telling him, I'm like, dude, if I had youth on my side like I do with you, man, like I would just be buying everything like we saw the monthly chart today from Michael Noss.
Oh,
it's
this
like,
was, we should.
It just keeps on going higher and higher and higher. Like, look at this healthcare spot, right? Like the population is getting older, guys. Like this is gonna work, right? I mean, you could just go back and forth and we could talk about any of these names and it's just kind of like, sure, there's gonna be names that are getting hit on valuation. There's names that are gonna be not as safe as other ones and like a Palantir there. But again, if you've bought Palantir any time in the last year and a half, you're up 100% pretty much, right? Not at any time, but during some of those moves, and it's fading back into certain levels. Even Meta, there's a lot of opportunities. Energy, I mean, today, I'm going to go through all of this. I think Tesla, when you're looking at your portfolio and you think about it, and this is what I kind of told them, and I'm glad that Michael went over this, and we always talk about it. But it's like when you think about what's been happening, and you have the monthly chart up for the Qs right now. If you go over to Neil's screen right here, but it's just like, we have so much noise that we put up with every single day in the market. But ultimately, obviously, we're going to get that dip down. I'm assuming that's going to be during COVID there. We have, the global financial crisis
COVID dip is nothing.
that went through. And, but what was that?
This is the 2021 dip.
Yeah,
that was a real
so that was a much bigger one than COVID. Yeah, so, but those are just buying opportunities, and it's like it's easy to say when you're in the market and your portfolio's doing well, and it's tough to put money in at highs. So that's why I think that if you sort of play the ebbs and flows of the market,
I'll give you the best example
basis,
I can think of
rather than daily.
Look at the 50 period on is what we have up on the monthly chart. Like, just if you're young, anytime the market gets down to that, how are you not buying? Like, what do you even think about? Like, I remember it very clearly. Why did that not zoom in? All right, what did I just do? And oh, there it goes. For some reason, that didn't zoom the way I wanted to, so I'm not going to try it again. No, like, I remember in March, because it was in the heaviest day in March, somewhere in here, that I was like, I'm buying some stuff. Because I was at spring training and the market was getting destroyed and I couldn't help myself. It's just like, whatever, it's in between innings. And I remember just pulling out my phone and being like, what the hell's going on here? And it was like, what the heck is going on here? And it was insane. So I was like, you knew, it's like, look how far we've dipped down. You don't have to catch the absolute bottom on the dips, but that's the one thing I'm leaning into. Like, if you pull up a long-term chart and there's a moving average you like on it, like whether it's here, the 50 period on the monthly, I don't even know what I'm going to see here when I look at the weekly because I haven't in a while. Yeah, it doesn't get to the 200 period it never even gets to the 200 period on the weekly chart, that last little dip. But these major levels that once it shows that they respect them, buy, especially if you're young. More important if you're young. Like, it's just way too gorgeous not to. And then you could be long here, even if you got the worst possible, even if you wait till it's a bottoming tail candle and buy the open of the next month, that's 485, and you're 20% from there. You don't even have to have the bottom. Just buy that. Let it make the bottom and then buy that. Buy that right there. I love the monthly chart on the overall.
Well, that's what I mean. That's what I was getting at this whole story when we started. It was just like, I told this guy, like, you've got youth and you've got that on your side. So
he's young.
Get in there and I don't care how old you are, even 45. You still got tons of time to buy this market.
It's different if you're like I'll relate to the conversation. My dad a few years ago. I mean, ultimately he probably should have bought Bitcoin, but he was asking me like, yeah, should I be involved in crypto and this and that? And I said, well, like I am. I don't know if this is like your thing. Like, you need your money now. Like, this is, and I remember showing him like, well, how would you feel if you lost 40% in a couple of months? He'd be like, well, no, I don't want that. I'm like, well, then even though I think it's going up, then I don't think it's for you because you don't want to lose 40% of anything significant. So if you want to dabble a little bit, fine. But like, he's older, like he's retired, so it's different for him. And I think it's, unless you're at that point, buy them dips. It's obviously a lot different if you're at retirement or a couple of years before retirement. It's the same thing we were talking about the other day at lunch about, like when you have your kid's education account, right? Like there's a set point in which you're going to need that money. So yeah, you might have some risk on early on with it, like I know we do in Aaron's, but like at some point, you know you want it to be very conservative when you're going to have to pull that money out to pay for university. So that's how you have to think about things. And when you have plenty of time, that's when you take that risk. Adara?
Shutdown update. So apparently the Republican bill to end the U.S. government shutdown has failed to get enough votes to pass in the Senate, and the voting continues. If I have more updates, I will keep you posted. Back to you.
Oh, I missed all that. Okay, thanks, Adara.
Not enough votes.
Oh, yeah.
And were you surprised? The market just went from 15 to 18 days on how long this is going to be.
Yeah,
so.
and I think because, again, with the weekend, if it's not going to get solved today, it's not going to get resolved over the weekend, that's for sure. I mean, I hope it does somehow, but I don't think so right now. The S&P here, I mean, check out this note right here. This is interesting. S&P marks 106 sessions trading above, just to our point here, 106 sessions trading above the 50-day moving average. It's longest in a year, fifth longest in 30 years. Right there. I'm actually going to post that. Thanks, Benzinga, for that one. That is amazing, and that just came across the desk right now. So I think that's pretty awesome. All right, we did get out of some more TQs. We're short the market here as we talk about buying the market in our long term, but nice move to the downside right there. So we'll take some more out as it's coming in. We do not have very many shares. We did a good job of getting out of AMD. It went up a little bit, but now it's kind of cruising around that same level. We can look to see if there's anything we want to get into right here. My scanner is showing ARM right now. Maybe Netflix. We can talk about that. I want to see what is JP Morgan doing on a day like today. The market's not even really down. It's the Nasdaq that's getting clubbed a little bit. The ES is still up. We saw the Dow was still up. Bank stocks are still up today. JP Morgan up 1%. So I guess that's probably telling me that there's a 200-period moving average happening. Disney welcomes back, of course, Mr. Jimmy Kimmel last week. So you have to see what's going on with Disney. Again, they're 113, 110. I mean, content is still king. We got that EA deal as well that came through there. So, Disney still holding out. Big parts of that content story
Netflix
there with
yesterday.
Sports and everything like that. And then, Netflix. I mean, Netflix was a good talk.
There was that Elon tweet thingy.
Did Elon tweet something about Netflix?
Didn't he yesterday? Was that yesterday?
About Netflix? Oh, yeah, there was a story about
he
Netflix
was, because Elon was...
yeah, there was something about that.
Yeah, he tweeted something about, or posted something. Was it 2 days ago, maybe?
Yeah, that's what Andre's saying to us.
Yeah, so telling people to cancel Netflix because of some of their programming.
Oh, well, I'll just buy more of it then. But right into there, 111
probably a good dip buy.
40s. Yeah, I was going to say, like, this is actually looking a lot like Costco, where you've fallen back in. The problem is with Costco, it's underneath its 200-period moving average. Like this stock, I talked about minting millionaires. Netflix could be another one of those stocks that has done exactly that. Like this stock was. Anyways, where this stock came from is pretty impressive. And then once this thing splits as well, you're going to get some more juice on the split going back upside. So watch out for a Netflix split.
They're due for one. They split. Yeah. I think they split it was like twice, and like once was like. It was over 10 years ago. They do it like 10 to 15 years apart or something along those lines.
I remember chart for Netflix.
I remember trying to check that, but I don't know if it's pulled back enough.
They split back in 2015.
Okay, so that's like 10
look,
years.
this was, and again, just to talk about buying companies. Yeah, we'll go to Darren in 1 second.
Look at
just look at this. $17 back in 2012. Okay, now today, that's 13 years ago. Now you're up $1,100 just in that stock alone. Okay, market's not doing anything, so let's go find out what this breaking news is all about.
GM is breaking, and Tesla also got some volume in here as well. Republican Senator Bernie Moreno has said that Donald Trump, U.S. president, is considering significant tariff relief for U.S. auto production. Tesla got a little bit of a pop here. GM, though, is really the one moving on this again. According to Republican U.S. Senator Bernie Moreno, Donald Trump is considering significant tariff relief for U.S. auto production. GM, Ford, Tesla, back to you.
Right, Bernie, not Sanders.
Not that Bernie.
Not Sanders. Bernie Sanders, man, that guy's too much. I see that guy still talking now. No way I'm voting for the Republican. No, I'm not. Anyways, what's up, Bernie Sanders?
He has a very distinct, his manner of speech is so distinct, but yet I've never seen I've never seen like a comedian do him like really well.
Oh, really? Okay.
Which is bizarre because you would
Colbert does him pretty good.
Oh, he does?
I think so.
I'd have to check it out.
Bernie's getting up there in age. I'll leave it at that. That's a guy that maybe should not be investing in Bitcoin, Not financial.
Oh, 100%.
Okay, so no, but Bitcoin right now is more investable potentially than some of these stocks that we're talking about.
I agree. No, I'm just simply saying, like, for like anybody, like if you can't stomach.
Oh yeah, the
20
well, that's
or 30%,
what I was saying. The age
like,
thing. I don't even know how old he is there. Okay. So
it's not really moving.
It was GM that I looked at there. We can have a quick look to see if Tesla's doing anything. Of course, Tesla with big manufacturing. Tesla's not doing anything on that news, but Tesla, of course, big manufacturing gigaplants. They're also in Beijing, so as well as Austin, Texas. So you're gonna have to watch out to see if there's anything going on there with this. But yeah, nothing, no reaction to that. But thanks to Dara for it. And then obviously, we looked at GM already. Let me just have a quick look at Ford. Yeah, so nothing really going on right there, but there's the spike up and there's it coming back down. So 10 cents one way, 10 cents the other. I'm going to assume that GM coming back on that as well. Republican senator. So if you missed that story right here, I'm going to give it to you again. It's Republican Senator Moreno says President Trump considering significant tariff relief. This is the best part. Trump considering a lot of things, I feel like. Tariff relief for U.S. auto production, GM, Tesla, Ford, Toyota, could see significant tariff relief. So Toyota must have some good production there then in the United States. So yeah, there it goes. And yeah, it looks like GM, Ford does make that pullback, but it's looking like GM is the one right now. And Obi and I did something, we talked a little bit about this yesterday because we nailed that Intel trade on the Intel news where it kept going with a lot of volume. This is good volume right now. So good note there on GM, starting to finally pick it up a little bit. So yay, go GM, as that's been a great one. A PE of like 10. So it's all about that. But yeah, Trump could wake up tomorrow and stop considering this. It's just a matter of, I think a lot of the stuff that you're hearing right now in the media and reports like this is just a matter of when you catch these guys. Like President Trump could say something, it doesn't necessarily mean it's on the plate. It's just things that he's thinking about, right? And I mean, we don't even have a deal yet here in Canada. When was the the extension? The delay was, we were supposed to, it was July 1st, wasn't it? Wasn't it July 7th, I think, was the tariff date? Yeah. All right, well, that's nice. It's now October 3rd.
Serenity now.
So no deal here in Canada, but there's some soft lumber discussion and things like that, and energy back.
Well, Sean, it's all that leverage that we have with our booming economy and 7% unemployment rate.
Yeah, I don't necessarily think that the U.S. economy is we're the largest trade partner.
I know.
So you would think that they got to get this thing figured out.
7% unemployment is really bad.
He's going Tuesday. Carney's going? Maybe they're meeting on Tuesday. So someone in the chat just said that'd be nice.
You know what it's
Tuesday would be October the 7th.
I find that I'm really badly what's what I'm looking for, versed sometimes on Canadian economic news. Because you spend all day long looking at the US markets and sort of following US stories, that it'll be it's usually a day or two before, something like that. I probably would have found out about this meeting next week.
Maybe it's not even. I'm just saying what somebody in the chat.
Oh, someone said it in the chat?
I don't know.
No, I halfway kid about that. Our economy's not that bad, but compared to the U.S., it has been pretty rough going here. So, I like what's going on. GM's the only thing moving off of that news. Well, Ford kind of moved and gave it back, but GM held held VWAP, not the 50-period moving average in there, and then busted back through 59.5. It's not a huge range, but it went 59, so it went 59 to 60, and then bounced essentially back through 59.5. So looking for the dip buy if this can hold on a trend. The other thing, Sean kind of mentioned it, but you said their PE was single digits?
I thought it was 10.
The PE's 9, the forward PE is 6.
Right.
6.
Ford is even lower.
The forward P is $6 on GM, and it's been making good higher lows trending. So this could be this could be a nice little long back into the highs. But at least for today, I don't think this is not the news like Intel's news was 2 days ago, where it just kept on going. But if it can hold VWAP, let's see if we can't get some dip buys going on at General Motors. Yeah, like you said, Ford didn't do anything. Actually, that's not true. Ford moved, but then gave up the entirety of the move almost instantly, whereas GM was able to bounce off of a prior high, not give up the entire move, and just looking a little bit better. Von Clark, forget the news, check that wick on a 15-minute forward swing. Well, Well, it's probably just what we were just talking about, right? I'm still on GM here.
I think so, yeah. Well, I mean, there's a wick high. I mean, the thing is like it's 10 cents. So if you're trading thousands of shares, maybe you can grab that top. But that, I don't ever like shorting. I mean, and again, I assume this is what he's talking about. Like you could have got that.
Shorted that?
You could have shorted it, I guess. But when there's news, I don't like to go the other way. That's all. Like I would have thought of that as good news, right? So it's like I wouldn't find the top and short it. I could, okay, so if you're planning on trading that with
that's risky.
2,000 shares, maybe you go 500 on that short, but I don't think that would be a max position. But thanks for pointing that out. I don't ever want to put in a lot of risk at levels that are at risk of breaking on a catalyst.
Well, the other thing is look at Ford on the daily chart. Like that would kind of spook me trying to short this high. Like look at the daily. Like it's kind of breaking out on the daily. That would not be my cup of tea.
I think that would have been a scalp, that last trade.
Yeah, like maybe a scalp trade in there. Like Ford, you know what? Like Ford's chart looks pretty good. Certainly by Ford standards, it looks very good. I'm struggling to say better things about it because I know it's higher lows and all that good stuff.
Oh, here I can use it.
It actually looks really good. It's just GM's chart is, I guess they're about the same. Whatever. I shouldn't be crapping on Ford. They're both upward trending recently. So if this can't press through 60, you know how I roll, first available dip, if it can't make the press through the $60 level or even break back above the prior high, like if we reject this, then I'm jumping out of the trade for a scalp trade. Because post news, you buy the dip where you can get it. And I don't even think I got a great fill on the dip anyways. Pathic says I should crap away on Ford. I'll leave that to Randy.
Sergio.
I don't really have that strong opinions on it.
I like that, Sergio. Every question I see, I'm going to put in there. Yeah, you got your pay their haircuts with some dividends. I like that. And that's why everyone's got to have a little bit of this in their pocket. And I think dividend. We had Randy on before talking about XOM and Chevron, and we've talked about that, and we talked about Pfizer with a dividend as well. And I think that there is a.
Well, they got the fire out.
Oh yeah. See what fire?
There was a fire at a Chevron. It was a huge fire.
Okay.
It's out now. I saw it.
Something about Randy. I thought it was like he's working in the back. There was like a fire back there. But yeah, see, look, I got out of Oscar live on the show at 21:22. Yeah, now 21:50 for OSCR. But again, just out of 10%.
So here's my question for you on Oscar. This is a great trade on Oscar, but pull the daily up for a second.
Yeah. Well, it's at that 23 level, right? This is what we were talking about. Here it is.
There it is. Right, like if you have shot plays, like you might not get out of like a stable stock, like I don't know, like.
Well, this is in my TFS.
Throw like Apple or just something like that. You might not get out of those, but when the stock like that does a move, like a 50% or whatever, 60%, whatever it is, into resistance, how do you not bank it there? Like to me, that's what's crazy.
Okay, well, this is where So again, this is what it looks like on a monthly chart. So I don't really look at monthly charts, obviously, and. To make any decisions, but yeah, this is a good spot, obviously, like because you got to go all the way back here. This is September of 21. This is May of 24. 24. These are 24s, not 21s. But again, like look at this play. There's going to be so many levels when you look back into that collapse there of 2022 and the end of 2021 that like stocks just became into such great prices. Like this was $3. Like give me a break, up to $21.50. There's so many better ones than that, but yeah, you're looking and you still think there's room to go on Oscar. A lot of these names have already taken out. I mean, I think a good example of stuff like this, we've looked at SoFi on the monthly chart, and this is why again it got out at 29 because we had literally taken out the tops there, ran that top. But then what's different about it is like I can't blame anybody for staying in these names because you look at a name like Robinhood and their monthly chart, once we took that level out, it just said, that's a good story.
That's my favorite chart of the last.
Bammed it right there. Like cup and handle reverse the other way. Like, there's your cup, boom, all the way to the upside right there. This looks like a ladle, right there in a scoop. So yeah, what an amazing move there for Robinhood. And that's just an example of, even this is I'm still got Roblox in the 30s, but again, just have like that 30% for a shot play. But see, this is another one right here where I've recently got some out of this, and it's all the way up here. And it's nothing to do with the monthly, actually. I thought I was actually higher than this. But Roblox had a day when it first IPO'd, when literally everybody stuck at home during COVID playing it. And then this one comes down, and I just feel lucky to be long down here. I should have, look at that monthly break. I feel like we got to do more work on monthly charts.
I love monthly charts, but the thing is,
I don't love them enough.
You know what my biggest problem is it's
Someone in the chat, give us a good monthly chart.
I do this in fantasy as well. Where you have a tendency to only look at your guys. how they're doing instead of you should be looking at the other stuff. So like I'll look at all the monthly charts of all the crap that I own. But that you own. I know, stuff that I own. I shouldn't say crap because you want to own good stuff, but like it's just not enough of the other things. And wow, okay, this one quick note here. For all the world, I was like, GM just made the top because it bounces off VWAP, breaks back through 50, and I moved to a 1 minute chart just so you can see what I was looking at. And then this topping tail candle happens, so you know me. That's this topping tail. I'm out the second it breaks back underneath. Let's get out. And of course, now it goes to the high. So yeah, great. It went 590 and got 620, and now GM's going to continue to go higher. My guess is Ford must be still be going as. Look at Ford. So Ford.
No. Who cares about Ford? We have an important question over here.
Love the show as always. Your sweet sweater drip caught my wife's eye, and she's wondering what the brand is. Mind sharing? I have no idea. I legitimately, I'd have to maybe I can find
no, man. The brand is probably on the back tag, Mike.
Well, I'm hoping not have to take it off.
No, you don't. I can look for you.
Whatever. I'll just take it off. It's fine. I just don't. I don't know.
You don't even have to answer it. I was just putting it up there for shows, but okay. There it is. We're doing it all. We're doing it live, as they say.
I'm not like a fashionista. Right, where the hell is
mine? Is just this, but I'm into aloe. Yeah, whatever.
It doesn't even have a tag here. Let's go. Where
I've got Lulu pants on.
Literally can't even find this thing.
See, I support the stock, and it's not helping.
Whatever it is made in China. It can't. It must be like real cheap.
Chinese.
No, seriously. Look, am I lying?
You're right. There is actually no tag on that.
You know what probably happened?
Made laundry.
Okay, so I love my wife, but
I hope so.
So I'm gonna bag on her for a second.
Say that?
Because you know how sometimes there's the bigger tags that'll be on the ones that are they're annoying. No,
I know.
She'll cut them off.
Yeah, the Lulu tags that come with it are this long.
And so she'll cut them off, which is fine. But I tend to not do that. Because it doesn't really bother me, but she'll cut them off because it bugs me. So I actually don't. Question. That's my bad. I actually don't know.
It was fun though.
Sorry about that.
All right, yeah. All right, here we go. What's up to Jason right now? Jason Raybon. Let me see what you've got going on here right now. If I select this, can I select? Here is Fabian around still? It'd be cool if we could do something because it doesn't show the super chat. If we could add the super chat to that board.
Oh, true. To this thing.
To this somehow.
Because super chats also show
priority.
What?
They should take priority.
Just like a different,
a different color. Show it in a different format, but I don't mind showing it like this. Anyways, okay, so just what's up, Fabian? That's this guy's always doing all the work. Anyways, I don't want to give him more to do over here. All right, so anyways, Jason, I didn't even read this question yet. It's always tough when you don't read it first. Nike has been dropping for almost 4 years straight. Is the bottom near? Asking for a friend. Thank you for Archer today. So there you go. You're welcome. I think that was a story from Adara. So we want to thank Adara. Adara, I've already talked about this. Such a great addition that we've had with Adara on the desk. I mean, giving us all the stories and really just creating the opportunity for Neil, myself, and Joe.
Thank you very much, Adara.
Yes, even President Trump, he loves Adara, and it's just about getting you the information because Neil and I often get carried away with trading and all that. Now I didn't forget the question. Oh, Nike. Yeah, so Nike actually they didn't have a horrible quarter. It was Adara and I doing the recap show that day when Nike came out, and it was kind of it was up and it was down. And the thing about Nike is it's just stuck right here. And as long as it's above the 200 period moving average, Jason, I don't mind this call on Nike if it's one that you're making now. You said that. Let me just read your question again exactly. Nike's been dropping for almost 4 years straight. Is the bottom near? So it's tough to predict that kind of stuff, but when I'm always looking at things, and I know it sometimes is a hindrance to look at PEs all the time, and we've talked about that, but with Nike, I think it's reasonable. You want retailers maybe in the teens, because it's not a growth stock, Nike. I wouldn't classify it as that, not at this stage. And right now, you still have a pretty bad PE. I actually have to find the forward PE, still 38 and 44. I'm in Lulu. Lulu just had a bad earnings report, but we bought some of this dip as well. Look at Lulu's PE. I wear their clothing and talk about them all the time, but 12 to 13, you know, there's going to be something about that at some point that's going to get some catch up to it, and whether or not there is a activist or whatever that gets involved. And here's another example. I'm wearing these shoes right now, the Ons. You know, this is a forward P of just 17. So again, like Nike is having a little bit of a problem. UA right here, Under Armour. Let's check out what their forward is as well. They're not making any money whatsoever, but their current P is 22. Forget about the forward 140, current P 22. So yeah, Nike does have a little bit of a value problem, but yeah, is the bottom in for it? We've got so next summer we tried to play the whole Olympics thing, but you know, the last Summer Olympics, of course, it's coming now in 26, so that would have been 22. So you could see right here, yeah, not a boon for them heading into the 2022 Olympics.
Last Summer Olympics were 24, so last year.
Oh, the one's coming up. I thought 26. Oh, it's the World Cup. That's 26. That's what it is. Because I was just thinking.
Our buddy got tickets.
I was like, oh yeah, good. No, well,
it was real hard to get
part of the
tickets.
Visa raffle. I don't know when that starts.
You know what? But they
Maybe
did.
I already did, and I
his wife was like all over like the page, and then the second they came available, immediately went to like the lowest game. It's just like go right to the bottom. Don't even try to get.
I didn't even know they were available yet. So
you got like, I don't know, one of the guys in our pool got 4. I got nothing.
Okay, I didn't even know they were available. But I was going to say, yeah, so 24th, so that makes sense. But at the end of the day, I guess it worked then. I mean, here's this is actually September of 23. So that ramp up into Olympics, that top right there is December of 23. But then there's all of 24. So yeah, if that's when the Olympics were, I would say it wasn't a huge get up for them. So yeah, I don't know. You know, I mean, how many pairs of Jordans does everybody need? Like, you know, I've got a bunch, and it's getting stale a little bit. So I don't know. Waiting for something to pop. Off there. So yeah, we'll get that going.
You know, the only branded like player brand basketball shoes I ever wore was.
I also have the Tatums.
I had the Sean Kemp Kamikaze.
Ooh, nice.
Which none of y'all even know. Back Sean Kemp was like he was like it.
Yeah, of course, man.
Like if YouTube had existed, like
Rain Man.
Like if they had like social media when that dude was around, like he would have broken the internet. Like all he did is poster people, and he showboat on you too. Like he point at you.
A kid.
And he was just a freak, and everybody was afraid of that dude. You did not want to stand near the rim when that dude came around. It was just built totally different. Like, there's some dudes that are kind of like that.
Yeah,
like, Like Blake was kind of like that.
I think he had 9 kids, but he is a sick player. In NBA Jam, yeah.
Yo, this
guy was doing the right things.
I love Sean Kemp.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously not that I was 6'10".
Gary Payton.
And jumping around, like, clearly not.
Sean Kemp cards, yeah.
Cards?
Oh, man.
I didn't have his cards.
Trading cards.
I had the very first pack of cards. This is a 100% true story. I was at a church event, and for whatever reason, they were handing out packs of cards to all the kids. I don't remember the year, but like based on the card that I open up this pack, I issue not David Robinson rookie card.
I have that card.
Free pack. And like just right there. And then I got
I know that card.
And here's the other crazy thing.
Oh, we're going to Wonderland.
I got a Derek Gervin rookie card as well.
Derek Gervin, George Gervin?
George Gervin's little brother.
Oh, okay.
And then when we went to Lionhead for that celebrity tournament, Michael Jordan celebrity tournament, we were just sort of sitting there, and George Gervin's cart broke down. And so George Gervin, NBA Hall of Famer. I didn't
even know he had his
cart broke down.
Brother, you said.
So he's just sort of standing around, and no one's talking to him. And then all of a sudden people realize that he's just sort of standing there. So instead of they're just trying to get some autographs. And so like he's a little bit of a mob around this NBA Hall of Famer. And I'm trying to get his attention. So I say, hey, George, how's your brother Derek doing?
Oh, okay. And he's like,
because then it's like, he's like, what? How do you know Derek? I'm like, yeah, I know, I have his rookie card. He's like, oh, he's playing in Europe and he signs an autograph while talking to me just because I knew what his brother's name was.
Man.
All because of that. Thank you.
When you said that, I thought you had just missaid it, but yeah, it's his brother.
No, I actually knew him. We got a super chat from Patrick. Thank you guys for letting us know when you were down as well as up. It really helps us. At least I got to start breathing better. I'm still feeling under the weather and it's like kind of stuffed up. Or at least we know that when I have, at least when we know we have terrible weeks, I can still end the right way and treat each day as its own. I wish I could show you, but was down 24K from Tuesday, Thursday. Check chat. Okay. Well, this is sort of the thing. Everybody's going to have up, down, left, right, center. You know, like I was up in the morning, then lost in the middle of the day, and trying to get some back to get to flat. And the worst part about it was like the worst loss was actually I had the top on the stock, but it happens to you. You've just got to do more of what works and less of what doesn't. I know it's a simple thing to say, but it's so true. It's so very true. And we got another super chat here. By the way, David, you haven't had a silly trade of the day for a while. I don't know if you did one yesterday, but we missed them. So Jason here, Nike has been dropping almost. Did you do this one already? We were just talking about Nike. Okay.
Jason, I did.
Right, so you already did that. No, but Patrick, that's sort of the thing. Like you have to understand, and I always say this, but it's a good point. And I just want to go back to, I'm going to go back to QBTS for a second. By the way, Ford did really, I shouldn't have crapped on Ford. Ford kept on going. Ford actually looks pretty good. No, it really does. Ford does look pretty good. I'm going to go back to my 3-minute chart. Like sometimes, like you wait, there we go. Sometimes you wait, you put on a trade, you have a stop, and you lose. But you have to look at it this way. Like if I'm looking to short this stock at that high and make that trade 10 times, okay, sometimes it's going to wick you up by 1 cent. That's blind luck. There'll be plenty of other times where it doesn't wick out and just works from there, the same setup. And then there's other times where you're able to catch the retrade on the low. It's the idea. Like that trade is a solid trade. Now, this one might not have worked, but that's irrelevant. The question is, if you make that action several times, like obviously, if I'm short at 32.85 and risking 20, in this particular case, 25 cents, pretty much exactly 25 cents, like VWAP sits there at $1 lower. First support is sitting there at almost like 1.5 to 1-ish, right? So like, I know that that's a trade that works risk to reward, which is fine. Chandler in the chat just asked if Palantir went SSR. That's good to know. If it did, I love it on Monday. It did not.
I would say it in your thing.
I'm eyeballing saying no.
It says no in your thing.
No, I know, but I can also eyeball.
Oh, yeah.
Like the lows, the thing is 187 is the close, right? So like you can eyeball that and know that it has to go under 170, right? Like I know if it needs to drop $18, it has to at least have been under 170, which it did not get to. And the reason why we like it, big stocks like Palantir, if they have the SSR on it, like 10%, and the uptick rule is going to be in effect, these are the types of stocks that people like to dip by. Those are the ones that I really like when they go SSR the following day. So, you know, Palantir is not one, but it's not a horrible thing to check on a Friday. Like, what's on your list that went 10% down? Literally nothing on my quote board. That's great. Like the quote board of stocks that I look at, like nothing came close to 10%. But yeah, maybe you track for some things that were down 10%, so that on Monday you have some potential, you know, juice to some bounce plays. Why is GameStop even on my quote board still and down 5%?
GameStop?
I don't even know why it's on here. I just probably never got rid of it. GameStop does not belong on my quote board anymore. I'm going to get rid of it. I need to update that because I used to not have like Broadcom. Now I have Broadcom on here. There's probably symbols on here that I don't care about. Like I don't really follow DJT much anymore. Yeah, most of the rest of it's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, it's still early days for those, but we'll see. Well, actually,
for a second there, I almost freaked out. I saw a 6, and I thought it was PanW down 6%.
Yeah. No. Well, it's not. It might not.
No, PanW's flat. That's pretty good.
Because PanW actually, Palo Alto is another stock that's at levels that you should be considering selling. It's bounced off that 210 a couple times. If you're interested in that, PanW is a stock that core holding in the portfolio. So
yeah, this is a quadruple top on PanW.
Yeah, exactly.
Quad top.
Yeah, so I've noted that.
But I thought it would pull back 6% off that high, and I would have been kicking myself if it did.
Thankfully not, Neil. That would be bad. What's up, Patrick? Yeah, there it is. I mean, look, thank you for the super chat. I mean, this is what it's all about. So we say cheers on that one. And then, you know, having bad days, you know, thanks, guys. Me letting you know that we had bad days gave you confidence to come back today, too. Exactly. So, like, today we're having a huge day. And we came back from yesterday's downside, right? And so we actually didn't even make back as much as we lost yesterday, but we're having good feels today, and we'll get it all back. And it's funny because I saw Obi today, and he was noticing how much or whatever the P&L was today, and he just basically just dabbed me up immediately and was like, dude, I told you that you would make that back. And we had a huge trade yesterday too, right at the end of the day, that we actually made some nice money on that as well. But hey man, we just came off of honestly 2 back-to-back For me, I'll just talk about myself, a monster month. So I'm really happy with that. And I don't want to give anything back. Like what last month was, all it does is just help the confidence. I'm not really changing anything that I do trading wise. I'm just going to still try to be the person that we want to be. And that is, you know, an honest, good trader, hopefully, that makes sense of trades. And like, you know, this move there, what we wrote down today was pretty simple. We only traded 2 names today, the TQQs and AMD. And those are the top 2 ideas. You can go find it right here. It's on Instagram as well. And then I've been putting up charts today of the trades that we had, but it was only these 2 names. And there it is right here. It's a sticky note. It's your absolute free. It's this and the watch list. Neil has some posts up as well. But there it is right there, man. It's AMD. So TQQ 107 short. That's what we have. The TQQs right now is at 104. AMD, we have the 170 break. It never got to 171. So I said, watch and hold. I mean, that was easy there. So we have that 170 short. AMD now 164. All right, so we have all these trades. And then we don't have this one, Tesla, 445 short. We talked about why we like that short, but obviously, as you guys can see, we don't have that today. And the Tesla 445 short, that was the best idea of them all. And, well, I mean, maybe the AMD one was, but there's Tesla right there. It's funny because I could have taken Tesla at the same time as AMD. There's 445 short right here. That's 446. We went into. So when we made that call, Tesla was down here at 441. All we did was read charts, and that gave us the 445, and that went down to 416. So that was a $30 winner or so. Now bouncing back up. And look, yesterday we took the break of the 200 period, and it didn't work. Today the break of the 200 period does work. So again, just to put everything back in perspective, make sure that you take the trades that you think may work and have risk. Stops in place for them, and if you can find those trades, then you know, you'll be well rewarded on that one. Rivian, if you want to talk about some downside opportunities, we actually saw that today when Randy was here, and we said that it's pulled right back into these levels again. So if you like Rivian, maybe there's an opportunity here for you at $13. And I actually have another one that just flew under the radar very, very quietly. Palantir's 50-period moving average really got moved up, and yeah. So before you were bouncing around, it was actually under 150 when this was happening. So now it actually held the 50 period better than this. Now you're coming back up to the 50 period again at 170. So for PLTR, like we had recently got out at 180 a little bit there. We got out some at 160 when we broke there. So I do think now we should be getting something out. And it's funny because I looked at my account this morning and was like, all right, we still got Palantir, and what are we thinking about it? Because we had that bad report there that the Navy or whatever, the Army was reporting that there was some flaws in some of the software there, and then all of a sudden this happened. You don't want flaws in software when you're talking about as important things as you're talking about lives.
I didn't see it.
I don't know.
Someone in the chat said that they've patched this.
Oh, they probably did.
So like that was what gave me a bit positive. But like I'm not gonna trade off of that.
The story was an internal U.S. Army memo. So yeah. So it's not even that their battlefield communication developed with Anduril, with Palantir, has fundamental security flaws, and should be considered very high risk.
So the question is, have they patched or do they have a fix for it? Which I'm guessing more details Adara.
We've got Adara, actually, if there's anything over there.
Yeah, I have a little bit more on this. So apparently Palantir responded. They said that this was more, I guess, apparently Anduril's part of this because it's Palantir and Anduril together. There's this NGC2 system. They said that Anduril resolved the issues and that this is no longer a problem. So Palantir basically said this is not an issue anymore. It has been dealt with. That was their response anyway that I was seeing reported by Bloomberg. Back to you.
Bichette on the roster? Or no?
Yeah, thank you very much, Sir Adara. Bichette's not going to make it.
Not on the roster. No, but is he on the roster for this? No. Okay, yeah, so.
Bichette's out, yeah. Scherzer's out.
Scherzer, who cares, but yeah.
No, Scherzer's a bum. David Tretsiak, thank you for the super chat. There is the silly trade. Consider puts on Hood.
Yes.
But think long positions, best move now. Let's see, 170 by Halloween. One of the first things we said, actually, I think Hood was in the rundown, right?
Yep.
I'm pretty sure I said if I'd be ringing the register on Hood for something. Obviously today it's held up really well, so it doesn't look like the best call in the world, but I feel like there's a pullback due for Robinhood. Just something reasonable. Like I don't know how deep it can go because the trend has been it's just been tremendous here. But Halloween, end of the month, you want 170?
For Robinhood? No.
That's asking a lot. To me, it's just, this is one of the frothiest names out there. So yeah, to me that's asking a lot. I think it's due for what SoFi did. I think that was the example. Yeah, the example I was using was sort of SoFi, like this, maybe not the 50 period, but certainly 20% just pulled back pretty decently and is trying to hold on. But that's kind of my thoughts on it. I also don't own Robinhood. I enjoy hockey night. I don't even know who's playing in the preseason tonight. I'm in baseball mode, man. Gonna be at the J game tomorrow. Gonna be at the J game on Sunday, and then I'll be watching it when they're in the Yankee Stadium.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping for the best, man. Like it's.
Toronto is crazy with baseball. It's I love the city when the Blue Jays are hot. Yeah. It's crazy.
This is gonna be a good. I think it'll be a good series.
Yeah, is Vlad gonna go on vacation again? Yeah, maybe, but we'll see, man. The guy's not a clutch player, and we'll wait to see if that's true. Hopefully, it is, Neil.
It's the pitching
this time.
Like we're literally starting a rookie in game 2, and the kids.
Yeah, but isn't what's his name?
The kid's nails.
Who's the guy that went yesterday? Schlittler. Yeah, he's a rookie, no?
Yeah, he's a rookie. Okay. But he. The difference is like Schlittler actually pitched.
I know. He has
for like 2 months in the bigs. Yeah. Like our guy got to the big leagues and made like 3 starts and then he go to the playoffs.
I know. It's.
I got to shout that. Remember I told you the guy in Cleveland?
Shane Bieber?
No, there was a dude on Cleveland made his major league debut
the center fielder
in game 1 in the playoffs. First major league game was in playoffs starting in center field. The first ball was hit to him and he dropped the routine fly ball. The guy came back, had a knock in game 2, like knocked that dirt off shoulder. So all I know is I am doing whatever I can to get Chase DeLauder in my fantasy league next year. Because if you can come back from my very first chance as a professional is dropping a routine fly ball in the playoffs to just coming back and acting like it didn't happen, that guy's going to be a stud. He's got that right mentality. I'm going to Chase DeLauder, fantasy league. Probably shouldn't have said that because like.
No one.
I guarantee you, like, no one's gonna care. But I think that guy's gonna be a stud. Like I love that man. Like, cause that could break some people. You saw Rick Ankiel.
I mean, this is the mentality that we have in trading.
That dude, like, that is the worst possible scenario for anybody. What happens when the first time the ball hits you, and he literally dropped it?
Yeah, I just nervous.
And it's like it was an easy play. Like it's a kind of play you or I could make. That's how easy it was. Like straight up. Like I'm not saying. Like trust me, it was a routine play.
Well, Judge dropped last year in the playoffs that routine fly ball.
If you played outfield, every outfielder, at least once in your life, you've dropped a routine fly ball.
Of course.
It happens.
That's sports, man.
It's sports, man.
It's like in every, if you're on a breakaway, some people, Austin Matthews will fan every once in a while, and it's just like that part sucks. But yeah, I think the hockey night enjoy it might have been for myself. Yeah, we do have hockey tonight.
Oh, you guys have hockey.
We have hockey tonight and tomorrow. We'll be up in Newmarket tomorrow. So a lot of traveling there. I'll do whatever for these kids, but yeah, it's a lot of fun. I love doing it. So being a hockey dad is awesome. That is for sure. We did have a super chat. Okay, let's go have a look. Thank you, Andre, for that. So I'm going to go into here, fan funding right now. Oh, this one? Okay, we talked about the silly trade. Can we please get one position in the section where Joe or Sean puts 5 names out there and tracks them? Well, we do have, we did post, yeah, we could do something like that. Can we please get one position swing trade section a day? Yeah, so we're going through, Howard, you might be more onto this than you even know. We're switching a little bit of the format of the show. So I'll leave it at that. Thank you for those ideas. I think that, we talk about what the strengths of all of us are around here, and I do appreciate that, and I think that you might have just nailed something with that. We actually it was on Trader TV research, but I tweeted it out a little while ago as well. We have to do more of this, and I want it, here it is, and I want to do more of this. This is from January though. We put some picks in, and we talked about the plays that we would have made, so on and so forth. And this was the return since whatever it was, January 24th or the 10th there. Thank you, Adara. Oh. So yeah, this is, and then our picks are on here as well. Thank you, Toby Baker. Awesome. Don't punish Adara. Yeah, we're not going to do that. But there it is right there. So nice little return. It's actually much higher now. But anyways, we'll do something like that. So I want to say thank you for those suggestions. And I think that's something that we are trying to work on. So we'll do that, man. And yeah, Neil was only here for 2 days, but there it is, Lasmel here this week. Thank you for a great week. I was gonna try to. Oh, it wasn't a question. Yeah, the only way I can put these things up is if you do. Here you go, Neil. Here's one for you. All right. What do you think about holding Rich Tech Robotics over the weekend? This is from you guys in the chat.
That's a random one.
Yeah. That's why you're taking it.
Ooh. David, I usually, you know, when somebody
Oscar, boom.
like somebody wants to hold it is why they're asking you the question for this. Like here's the thing. If I have this long, like the trend break, like if I have a long here at 450, am I holding it through that top? Absolutely, right? Because like to me, I've taken some profit here and I'm holding through 6. If the question is more along the lines of it's at 6 now and breaking out, are you holding that? No, because to me, like I go from where would my out be on the long, and on a swing basis, my only out is underneath 4. So like I'm not much of a hold 6 for 4 if I'm not really into the play, like or fundamentally, like from a technical standpoint, like holding up there. If I was long down here and risking the 4 and I've already taken some profit out, say you banked a quarter or banked a third, then absolutely you're holding through. But if you've bought the 6, like up here, holding over the weekend, that's not my cup of tea at all. So it really depends on like what your plan is with it, because it's very different buying off support, resistance, and trend breaks than buying the high, which is not really it's not my thing. Adara?
Intel dropping here. Why is Intel dropping? I will let you guys know. So Semi-Accurate, which is the name of a news agency, they basically look at insider data specifically on the chip space, though they don't really cite their sources. Anyway, Semi-Accurate, I guess, released this headline saying, Q, is AMD fabbing at Intel? A, too long didn't read as no. So long story short, with this cheeky headline, Semi-Accurate is implying that Advanced Micro Devices, contrary to previous reports, is not going to be doing any foundry, I guess, collaboration here with Intel. We know that there were previous reports suggesting that AMD and was going to be a founder customer of Intel. That is right now being denied. For more details, Semi-Accurate said that they've talked to people on both sides for both companies. Everyone said it is not true. No one even hinted that there's something in the works. It's a hard no. Back to you.
All right, so
this is actually one of the reasons we were saying not taking profit on that headline would have been crazy. Like 2 days ago, that headline came out, and not grabbing some profit. It was just a rumor. This is not AMD has signed a contract with Intel, because I think that's very different. And even if one of the other things we said is, even if they had signed a deal, by the time you're actually realizing the gains from that, it could be a while. This is a long process. They're losing a lot of money in their foundry business. So that's not very good. Obviously not very good for Intel here. It's kind of a weird headline because it doesn't sound like it's anything official coming from AMD. But either way, that was sort of the concern that you had with Intel. Why ringing the register matters. And what's interesting is we just had that question about buying the top of a breakout. I just don't like those. When you're at a huge, sometimes you can call them bag holder level if a stock has been trending down, or a resistance level like that. It's just, you know there's going to be selling up there. And then buying that top gets really, really tricky. It's easier to hold. I just find it's easier to hold through a high like that than buy through a high. And I know, every time I say this to Michael Moss, he's like, you're better off buying the highs. And I get that. I understand that in a strong stock. But on these, stocks with the downward slope, where they've just made that great run off of the low, I find that to be a bit of a different story, because they've been downward sloping for a reason. You get to the bag hold level, I'd rather buy dips. So Intel, still looking really good on the daily chart, but unfortunately that's not the best news ever.
I'm just trying to search on Twitter here to find out the last time we talked about Oscar on here. So I'm gonna get it, because I was just saying the same thing, because we did get out of some of that position here today to the same kind of a thing that we were sort of just talking about here live. All right, Adara's got, whenever you're ready, there's more news right there. There it is. Plenty of space to cut rates. Okay, let's go find out this story.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say, basically. Fed's Myron contrasting commentary that was coming from Fed's Logan today, saying that, yeah, the Fed actually has plenty of space to cut rates. Fed's Logan, earlier today, she expressed that the Fed should be really careful about cutting rates from here on out. This is Fed's Myron's second set of comments today, and equally dovish this time around, guys. Back to you.
Hey. Is there some rebalancing happening today?
Thank you very much, Thursday. So just, I'm sorry, it's 3:42, and I haven't looked at the early looking balances.
That was a ton.
So I'm just looking at a note. Rocket is another net flow potential buy expected, although it's a 17 million sell. So yeah. So anyways, in the notes, it's a Russell 100 upweight. Again, this is the second time. It was on Wednesday as well. There's a fly, which is just really messing with me.
Fly? Oh, God.
But 17 million to sell on Rocket, although expected to potentially be a buy, so keep an eye on that. It's not the same as when it was a big buy on Wednesday when you were expecting buy.
Yeah.
Now it's a big sell when you're expecting buy. So it's not quite as good. Then you've got nothing really else. CLVT, not a big deal. AES, small sell, 1.6 million to the sell side there. They're in some buy rumors. Archer is a buy of 800,000 on the early look. Toast sell 700,000. Nothing really big here. Lumen 500,000 sell. They got a Palantir hookup a couple of weeks ago actually. How's that doing since then? Lumen. These guys cut a deal with Palantir like 2 weeks ago, I believe. I keep forgetting to look how it's still holding trend. One looks pretty good. Lumen doesn't look. Lumen could break out next week. Like this is one to watch. Like it's been like ever since the deal was announced, just hold a higher low, higher lows into a flat top. Smells like a breakout to me. Of course, this local high is 666 because why not, obviously. But Lumen could be worth a watch for sure next week. But Toast, nothing much on this imbalance locator. We'll keep eyes on Rockets. You never know. This could be
that crazy opportunity.
Yeah, like this could be. It's the wrong direction. That's what gets me. But 17 million share imbalance when it's only done 66 million. That's 25% of the day's volume. The difference was 2 days ago, the imbalance was 100% of the daily volume at the time. So this is big, but it's not as big relatively as it was on Wednesday, I believe it was. Was it Wednesday or Tuesday? It had to be Wednesday. That wasn't in on Tuesday.
Yeah. Okay, time to start clearing some out here. I mean, this TQQ trade, we've just been sort of sitting here waiting for something to happen on it, and it's not, the futures really aren't doing anything. So, obviously the big trade of the day for me, both AMD and this play really came in. So, yeah, really quite happy, obviously, with what this has been doing, and just re-shorted that pop back into VWAP. It's kind of a good thing that we weren't here, because I would have tried it there. Again, we actually tried a little bit of a long first off of VWAP right there. That's the red. And then I was like, nah, this is not a long. And then whoosh, right there back in. So I was pretty happy with that play. But yeah, we'll see. We'll see if it gets down. Remember, there's only 15 minutes left. Neil just went over the imbalances. There's not much hitting right now, but at 340, at 350, they'll all become public. And then we'll be able to see exactly Wagwan. All right, so we did get out of Oscar 30 cents ago. Again, a little piece in our portfolio. We did get out of some Marvell today. Just talking about trimming some of these positions in the longer term account. And then I was thinking about Coinbase as well. It's not even at that $400 level yet, so maybe there's a lot more room to run on Coinbase, but we've had a good little move higher here. I'm going to do some work, maybe get out of some Coinbase here over the weekend as well, hitting up to these levels. You've had a huge run now in crypto over the last couple of days, and obviously coinciding with a monster move here in your friend and mine, Coinbase. So that was that's something to look at. I remember when I got out of HUD 8 like in the teens, and now that's $40. Like, this is the thing, like sometimes it's worth holding on to something for a ride. Like there's HUD 8 right here in the teens, like I said, probably around here, 18 or 19, and then boom, now $40.
Almost as good as WonderFi.
Yeah, WonderFi, yeah. I wonder if I would joke that was, but okay. So that's WonderFi. WonderFi getting bought out.
No, I'm only joking around because if you guys know, like WonderFi got bought by Robinhood, and it's like the exact moment you can if you pull up a chart of WonderFi, and then look at the moment that the deal got announced, and look at what everything else in crypto did right after that.
Yeah.
It's
this has been bought out, but it was bought out for a nice premium, right? 25 up to 35.
It wasn't bad. It's more that like if it didn't get bought, everything's up like 3x. That's similar to it.
Okay, I just.
Oh, that was.
What was that?
Sorry, I just heard in my ear.
Is that what you heard?
Yeah, but I didn't catch it.
Yeah, I thought it was that Hamas has agreed to release everybody. That's what I heard. I'm not going to. Oh, yeah, here it is, right here. Yep, yeah. That is the news. So we have that news right here. I beat Adara. No,
wow.
Just joking. Hamas says it agrees to release all Israeli hostages, alive or bodies, under Trump's Gaza proposal. So I'll just hit bang. Like I don't know enough about it other than the fact that hopefully this is an end to something.
Good news.
Hamas says that affirms guideline to readiness to immediately engage in negotiations through mediators. Discuss details of this matter. Okay, the administration of the Gaza Strip, Palestine, and independent. Anyways, I think that's the big thing here, as well as they appreciate the efforts of U.S. President Donald Trump.
You can't spin
Hamas
that as any way but
appreciates the efforts of Donald Trump.
You cannot, there's no spinning that as anything but positive. That's all I gotta say.
I mean, I don't know enough about what Joe Biden was doing, but I didn't hear any things like that. But there it is. So congratulations. I don't want to say, I don't know, again, don't know enough about it, but that seems like a good story.
I mean, look, the headline is the headline. That's a good story.
Trump promised to get this settled. People thought that was not possible. Looks like maybe, hopefully, fingers crossed.
Look, we get it. It's a sensitive topic, but like,
sensitive topic.
Anybody getting reunited with families is good news. I don't know. Like, that's the way I look at it. With 90 seconds until the imbalance is coming in, we were just talking about crypto a second ago, I think, and I meant to go over how the gorgeous looking support and resistance, which is still holding on Bitcoin. All it does is show you the range, prior high, support, back to the high. This is the pattern on Bitcoin. Like the prior high, you just buy into the prior high. Can I zoom out for it? See, this allows, I like the way that this zooms on TradingView. Because there's the prior high, dip into the prior high. It's simple as that. And when it makes a consolidation off one, sometimes that works as well. But the prior high holds out. The prior high is now holding a support, which is like 109 to 110. So in the next available dip, buy that. And if it dips further, buy that, which is 90. It's the low 90s for anyone that maybe you're only listening and not actually watching the chart as I say it. So that's what I'm looking at for Bitcoin.
Nobody actually watches this show, do they?
No, if you're only listening, sometimes
everybody
should say the price as well.
Hit the like and subscribe right now. We don't have enough of those going
Still a big sell.
Oh, we only have 15 seconds, so let's get ready to go. Right here with those imbalances. We are expecting some kind of imbalances today, so we'll get ready with the size, and right there, it should come out in just a matter of seconds here. So we'll wait for this in 3 and 2 and 1. So here we go. All right, yeah, so Rocket does still come out as sell. Let's have a quick look at that.
Insta pairing there.
Yeah, 10 million was, so yeah, a little bit of a downside push there for Rocket Labs. Not much going on there. I'm not really seeing anything else. I mean, I don't know if is that WU's Western Union? Is that? No, it can't be. Yeah, it is Western Union. Okay, it's been a long time since I heard anything from that company. Okay, that's why. Look, not a great daily chart for WU there. BMY a buy. Anything we're interested in here? Intel on that story, of course, Adara brought us that. That had to move down. Now is kind of making that back a little bit. Yuck, Palantir, no love for them today. There's the sell-off in Palantir. Hopefully, it could still go SSR, by the way. I don't know.
No, 7%. It's not going to fall.
Yeah, I mean, down 2.5%
10 minutes?
from here. Yeah, probably not. Let's hope not. But they could. I don't know. Rigetti looks like that's going to be that buy. We had a good super chat from Archer, thanking Adair as well for breaking that. There goes Archer to the upside on a nice little buy. So I don't know what the total. Sometimes Adair will give us the total numbers.
1.4.
Yeah, 1.4 bill to sell. Right there. So it's not really doing anything to my TQQ position here. Oh, well, I mean, I guess it did. I don't have enough shares left to really worry about it, but again, another banger there just to cover some of this as we get ready to close out the weekend, or the week, and then we have the recap show. You're doing the recap show.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Neil's doing the recap show today with Adara, so that's fun. No matter what you guys are doing, I'm going, I don't know what, you're doing Blue Jays. We got invited to Wonderland this weekend, so my wife got these passes and parking and all that stuff, so that should be a lot of fun, and it's like that spooky thing that now I think
it's Halloween.
Yeah. I don't think it's Halloween haunt. I don't, maybe it is.
It's not Halloween. It's October. Why wouldn't it be Halloween?
Yeah, maybe it is Halloween.
It's got to be Halloween.
Yeah, okay. So we're doing that on Sunday afternoon.
It's a lot of fun, man. So,
and then my cousin, Tim, is opening up, I think it's Ontario's largest baseball indoor facility.
Nice.
Yeah, he has $50,000 pitching machines.
Where is this?
In Guelph.
Good for him, man.
Yeah,
Tim's good people.
Opening tomorrow.
We should have that guy in our
pool. I'll say shout out to him. We're going to go check that out, and maybe I'll post that. That's pretty cool. So, and then we got baseball. We're back into baseball, man. We have baseball training on Sunday. We're excited for that. Winter workouts begin. So my daughter goes hockey, baseball, and that's that. So yeah, we're really excited. It's going to be a good weekend, man. And the weather here is 30 degrees. Can we get some awesomeness for that?
30 degrees.
It's going to be.
Thank God.
Yeah,
I'm sitting here in a sweater and I got a coat.
Yeah, so right now it's 25 Celsius. So that is 21 is 72 or so. So we're going to say it's about 80 degrees right now Fahrenheit in Toronto, and it's going to stay that or more all weekend long. But there's no global warming or anything. It's already October 5th. So
I'll take it, man.
Yeah, well, I will take that.
Very quickly, guys, that rocket, this is why we were telling you that rocket's an expected buy. It almost pared the entire thing down. It was at 2 million just now and now at 3. So this is very different. It's not that you couldn't have made money going short. It's just that it's a lot different and it's an expected upweight and it comes out to the sell side. So Rocket Labs, here, I'll show you the black chart right here. Like there was a spike, but it immediately caught a bid when that started pairing off. So I'm glad we didn't trade that one short. You might have got a small win, but ultimately if that had flipped to a bid, you would have got smoked. It's weird. This VGSH, I was just looking at it. I'm like, what the heck is this and why is it not moving? It's like a Vanguard short-term treasury ETF with a 2 million imbalance to the buy side, which is the entire of the day's volume. I always like to watch things that are weird to me to see what happens on it, but I'm going to keep that one up because a stock like that with its liquidity, it could literally print 2 cents and that's the entire day's range. And if you can leverage that, your risk is essentially nothing. So I'm going to have that one up. Trade the pool, got to shout them out because they have a new competition. The best part about it, the culmination of this thing is going to be live right here, Trader TV Live.
Yeah,
because they got the beak, it's 2 weeks, I think. Is it
no, a week Monday, right?
Oh my goodness, that's right. The Beat Ackman live trading competition is here. It is, look, October 8th to the 10th. So that's next week. Every day Ackman's going to make his move. And all you're trying to do here is beat him. That's it. Beat his return. Prove he got what it takes. Then the grand finale on October 13th, live here in Trader TV. The Trade the Pool team will be live in studio. Over $600,000 in prizes are up for grabs. $25K, $50K, even $100,000 evaluation accounts, plus surprise giveaways during the live show. Don't just watch, compete. Beat Ackman and win big. Scan the QR code you see in front of you. Start trading today. So that should hopefully be a lot of fun. On the 13th, they'll be live. Mitch will be here coming on through.
So I may not be here because I'm getting corrective eye surgery next Thursday. Obi's filling in, Thursday, Friday. Well, it's just
you did,
updates.
You
I've already had. Yeah, I've already
got
had
that like years ago.
Yeah. So I have a very, very small nearsightedness. Very I can still see things perfectly, but it just bugs me a little bit that it's not where it needs to be.
It's cool because now you can do like multiple times and you just get the retouch.
Yeah,
the technology is amazing.
Yeah, it's just quickly. Amazing. So I don't know. Hopefully it's okay. But hopefully I'll be able to be here. They're saying no.
Well, you're not supposed to.
I know, but whatever. Last time I didn't even take they gave drugs and but anyway, it's just a quick little touch up.
I got on my dad's case.
I'm gonna have my right eye's gonna get it, but my left eye isn't.
So I'm a stickler for that stuff. You should follow the rules. Because my dad tried the same thing. He's like, "Well, I'm not supposed to." I'm like, "Well, come on, man. It's just a day or two."
Okay, thanks, Ravi. I will reach out to you for that. It's just PRK. My stigmatism is I don't even know what it is. It's very, very small. I should show you the prescription. It's it doesn't even exist. But,
I've never even seen you. You don't own glasses.
Yeah, I wear glasses. These are prescription glasses. Here, put these on and see if there's any difference.
Only you.
It's for distance.
But I've never seen you in glasses. I've seen you in. I just assumed these are blue light. I didn't know they were.
Shit, those look really good on you, Neil.
I kind of like this, man. I can tell there's something here. I like these. I actually like these glasses, bro. Yo,
Yo, give me those glasses back, my guy. This is what I'm saying. This is what I do. This is what I do. This is what I'm saying.
Can't have these.
See what I'm saying?
That's what I'm talking about.
Your eyes will get really dry.
You better believe it's sunny on Planet Cool there, Fabian.
Here we have this thing.
These are legit. If they weren't, they're obviously prescription, so I can't actually steal them. I'm not above stealing things. I've stolen. Oh.
There we go.
I've never stolen from a friend.
But shut up, Joe.
No, I do like those.
But yeah,
no,
there it
it's
is.
the style.
Of course, it's a style. Come on. I'm right here.
Yo, what's jokes?
No, these are cheap. They're they just went not Parker Warby.
You can't even make up. It's Oscar. You were just talking about
Wiley.
Oscar Wiley.
Yeah, not Oscar Health. Yeah.
No, but we were just talking about Oscar. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, recent IPO.
Here,
Oscar Wiley.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Should have bought the IPO.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
All right, now Neil's writing it down so he can go buy the exact same glasses.
No, I like the style.
Yeah, exactly.
So I'll look up the brand and see if I find something.
No. Yeah, they're in malls. I don't know if there's Sherway Mall has an Oscar Wiley there, and I think you can get them with no prescription.
Oh, of course you can.
Yeah.
I just wanted to look at the styles. So.
All right. Yeah.
Shoot.
Go have a look at that. I think you should pick it up. Yeah, all right. So I'm just going to exit out of all of these right now to cap off. Again, just a big battle back day for your boy. So right there, we'll get, did we not get filled there? We're bidding 62s. There it is. So there we go. We now get out of that one. We are now done. And yeah, profitable day over here. So we're happy with all that. And we get excited because we do have the Blue Jays playing this weekend. So shout out to all of our friends that will be. Neil will be there at the game. I will not be. And yeah.
You get to go to Wonderland.
We're going to Wonderland. Yeah, I'm in Newmarket. I've got a couple things going on tomorrow, but hopefully be able to. What time is the game tomorrow? 4?
They're both at 4
at 4. Okay, that's what I thought.
Well, somehow we were supposed to play at 1.
Surprised they didn't put a game at 7 for the New York. Like that's a pretty big prime time.
Yeah, but I think it would be
4 is like the worst time.
Yeah, but if we played 7 and then you got to come back and play at 4, to me you shouldn't. Like
they're doing the back-to-back thing.
Yeah, if you play in the evening on the Saturday, you shouldn't be forced to play an earlier game on Sunday.
Right.
Like forget about TVs. You're supposed to make it competitive, man. Like it's not.
They
fair.
They could have gone 1 on Saturday, 7 on Sunday.
They could have done that.
You don't want that. You're gonna miss a Sunday night football.
That's your Halloween costume, Men in Black. William Knight. We could do Men in Black.
We have to figure out what our Halloween.
That's not
Halloween's
bad.
not even that far away.
Actually, that's a good point. Because Sean and I, I'm not going to speak for everybody else.
We need to figure it out.
And I say this every time, but Sean and I dress up for Halloween.
Yeah,
straight up.
Brendan does not.
Straight up.
Joe is going to.
Joe will. I know Adara will dress up for sure. She's a
Sharif
trooper.
probably
She
will.
Sharif probably will.
Yeah.
Obi
will.
He dressed up. He was a vampire.
Obi's a good.
He was a vampire.
Obi's a good spirit.
That's right. Yes. All right, I got
Rick and Morty. Yeah, I'm gonna be Pickle Rick. All right.
Yo, don't say all of them out loud because we gotta.
I said in the chat.
I love Rick and Morty.
Yeah. I'm just giving people what they want. All right. Thanks for joining, guys. I mean, been obviously a bang up show. I mean, we're here, right? So here we go with only 20 seconds left. I hope everyone had a great time. I mean, I know that not everybody was positive today, but it doesn't matter. It was a good day trade, good talk today, and we battled back. So for me, it was like a big opportunity to do that. The countdown is now on. So we do want to thank, who's the sponsor for today? There it is. It's VinFast, ticker VFS. We want to thank them for helping sponsor our show and this portion, which is the closing bell. And there it is. We are now closed. And what a violent day, really. I mean, the Nasdaq did start its day with a nice little move to the high side, but then ended up down now 0.46 on the Nasdaq. And there we go. The ES just made a little bit of a red spot there during the midday and then gets red there into the close as well. So ES going red, Nasdaq going red, but you know what? It's been a pretty decent week on the market. So here's just the Nasdaq this week, up. So it's going to be a green week there for the Nasdaq, just barely though after this closing print right there. But we started the week down here, so a nice little week. We do go out off the past all-time highs for the Nasdaq, but close enough. The Dow, as long as the Dow was up today, then that will be all-time highs. It was up all day, and it still is. So yeah, the Dow as well, man, there it is, going out at all-time highs as well. So a lot of these markets, a lot to be happy with heading into the weekend, but the most important thing is that you spend it with friends and family and you spend it safely. So enjoy the baseball this weekend, enjoy whatever sports you guys are down with or not, enjoy whatever, video gaming, spending time with friends, getting to the gym, working out. If you're around here in southern Ontario, make sure you enjoy this weather. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's probably all across the East Coast. Stay safe, people in North Carolina. I know there's a sort of a situation happening over there. I don't want to call it a hurricane if it's not one, but I know there's some damage being done there in the Carolinas, so stay safe on that coast. And we'll see everybody again from my side back on Monday. So Sharif on the day off. Thanks, Obi, for filling in all week for us. Thank you, Joe, for such great shows always. Thanks, Adara, for never being sick, it seems like. So that's great. Thanks, Adara, on the desk and with lots of news stories this week. Thank you to Fabian and Ramin and Andre. And, most important, well, thanks, Brendo. And most importantly, thanks to everybody that's watching. I mean, we don't have this show without you guys. So, I'd still be here trading, but we wouldn't be able to have this much fun. So thank you to everybody for that. And thank you to everybody that super chatted and everything today. And I'm not going to go through names because there was so many and I don't want to miss anybody, but maybe they'll do that on the recap show. All right, that's enough for me. Again, thank you so much. Go follow at Trader TV, Sean. And thanks, Fabian, for all the work on those questions and everything. It's been a great week. Go give us some follows all over our socials. That's enough for me. It's ciao for now. Back over to the desk. See ya.
Thank you very much. We got the market recap starting right about now, brought to you by Beta Pro, by Globex. And heck, it was day 3 of the shutdown, and the market, it was green to red. Unfortunately, the first down day since the shutdown. Unfortunately, we had missing economic data this morning. You had a fire at a Chevron refinery. Actually, the good news is they got that fire out, so possibly good.
I was seeing that as of a couple minutes ago they had it.
Oh no! Okay, I saw one headline.
I need to look into that.
I hope they do. But the wealth of stories throughout the day, and a lot of Fed speak as well, some pensive news mentions from the Fed, and then the odds of this shutdown went from 15 days at Kalshi, the betting market's saying 18, and no word of a lie, the markets, the moment that shifted, we went from trending higher to whoopsie-doo, that's the candle. This is exactly when at Kalshi it went 15 days to 18 days in the betting markets. So the shutdown is moving the markets right now, despite the fact that for a couple of days there, we were doing just fine despite it.
Yeah, it was not a great day here for the market, that's for sure. Yeah, I need to see if anything has ended with this fire yet. Apparently it was contained as of 3 hours ago, though I did see as of a couple, now it's been extinguished 3 minutes ago, it was officially extinguished. So I just checked into that. The last thing I saw is that it wasn't, but yeah, it has been extinguished. I'm also seeing some news here on Tether. Tether seeking capital for tokenized gold hoard. So interesting look there. Tether looking for some capital. You can always keep an eye on Rumble with regards to Tether-related catalysts because Tether invests pretty heavily in them. But, Neil, we got lots of headlines to discuss this afternoon. It was quite the week. I wore red. The market was red. Sorry, guys. But you know what? This showdown is still happening. Looks like that will not end. The shutdown is not likely to end yet. We had these votes. The votes did not really go quite well.
No, they did not, unfortunately. And, well, what's interesting is we didn't start Redditera. I'm gonna get that fly. It's like it followed me from my desk. No, but we didn't start red. It's just where we happen to be ending up, and unfortunately, that's just par for the course. But let's be real. It wasn't across the board because you see the Qs are going to be the Qs are going to be down 0.5%. If you look at the SPY fared a little bit better, almost flat, 0.06% to the downside. The Dow, the diamonds, actually doing pretty well, relatively speaking, on the day, and able to close here still in the green 0.5 point despite pulling back. So if you look at it, it wasn't across the board. It was mostly tech that got wrecked, and you had the diamonds, still the Dow pushing into some fresh highs because healthcare absolutely banging. Strong day for healthcare stocks, and that certainly held things up pretty big. But it all starts and ends with this government shutdown. It's certainly moving the markets, and if we can bring, I know this, and we talked about this actually pretty heavily with Michael Nas, that overall, it's a buy. If you look at the last few shutdowns, it's been a buy event. However, that doesn't mean every single day is going to be an up day. So the showdown is on. Right now, it doesn't seem like there's any end in sight. I think when I look at that story that update from Kalshi, where you have it go 15 days to 18 days, you start to see some movement in the extreme end of that start to move down, the odds get longer for a 30-day. That could be a bit of a sign, and maybe we start looking for some buys off that. But it wasn't just about that, because this morning, Adara, economic data. It was tentative. Are we going to get it? Are we not going to? Half the numbers we didn't get this morning.
We did not get non-farm payroll or unemployment, unfortunately, numbers coming from the Bureau of Labor Statistics. We were not expecting to get the data from the BLS, though we know Senator Elizabeth Warren was trying to push the BLS to release it anyway because there were reports that they actually had it ready. Either way, it doesn't matter. They did not release said economic data, unfortunately. The Fed is liking to have data. They would love to have that employment data, especially because, Neil, a lot of the commentary we had from Fed speakers today, minus Fed's Myron, who is doing his own thing always, Fed's Jefferson and especially Fed's Logan were really cautious about employment. They both emphasized that both sides of the Fed's dual mandate, so employment and the inflation are things they're still watching out for. And if they can't get employment data at this pivotal time, what does that mean for October rate cuts? We're going to have to wait and see, but I do think it's something to keep in mind as well. And I also really quickly want to use this economic data blackout headline to remind everybody there is a clear divide in the Fed right now, too, with Fed's Logan saying that the Fed should be really cautious about cutting rate, and then Fed's Byron saying there's no reason they shouldn't be cutting rates right now.
Well, there is definitely a divide, but they need to get that. They need to get that data. I think this gives them all the reason in the world to pause if this ends up continue a pause if this ends up going longer. But let's be real. Jump on over to this fire, which is now out. That Chevron. What? So here's the thing. The fire is now out and controlled at Chevron. But either way, I think this presents an opportunity because it was a little bit weak. So you had a fire breakout overnight. And there was some pressure on it. But if you look at what's been going on with energy, this is a stock which has been gliding higher and now holding some higher lows. So it's good news that the fire is out. And to the extent that there was some selling earlier, it seemed to be able to battle back just a little bit. But the other side of this coin, there is sort of where you could find kernels of strength in the market. And we have seen, as when the market's weak, we've seen strength in healthcare, we've seen some strength in energy. Hopefully this could give us a buying opportunity in CVX. I'm glad it didn't last very long, but there wasn't that much of a dip to be bought.
No, I didn't even put it in the watch list because the stock just did not react and didn't have volume, truthfully. It was not like the volume that we saw yesterday in Occidental and other team in the same space that had that move after Warren Buffett and Berkshire Hathaway did their largest deal in 3 years since the Allegheny deal in 2022, and they acquired Occidental's petrochemical unit. Now let's talk here about BLK or BlackRock and this $40 billion data center deal reportedly happening here for GIP, which is a unit of BlackRock, or at least they're supported by BlackRock, trying to get $40 billion here for aligned. So let's see if everyone is aligned there with the buyers and the sellers and that ends up happening. Just to report, either way, nothing really market moving there either. We know people are trying to get involved in the data center space, and that continues. Yeah,
absolutely. And just, I want to get to the chat for a second. What can you guys, you didn't put a question mark, that's why I couldn't find it. Can you guys wish Joseph a happy birthday from all of us? He went missing this afternoon. Happy birthday, Joseph. Was it his birthday today?
No, I think he said it was the 5th.
Okay.
I think.
Well, happy birthday anyway.
Birthday.
Sometimes we have a running joke around here just wishing people a happy birthday when it's not their birthday, which is perfectly fine by me. But either way, happy birthday, Joe, whether it is or not. But unfortunately, well, this is, maybe it's fortunate, unfortunate. This Apple story. Okay, so fine. Like the Apple pulls those ice trackers from the App Store, sort of, which the headline speaks for itself. I never thought that was going to be moving the stock very much. But the other thing is Apple did not care whatsoever early on what the market was doing. It just didn't. Like early on, Apple was just an absolute, I want to call it a rocket off of the open. And it was super strong there on Apple for a hot minute, and then everything else sort of faded out. Oh, that's going to be a pain in the butt, those wicks. Oh, you stink. But there's Apple, and if you look at what happened, like right away, this was gapped down. The weakest of all the Mag 7 names was Apple. And I had no idea whether it had anything to do with that headline and maybe people were selling off that. No, it got bought up right off of the open as well. Oh, my mic apparently sucks.
Yeah, I'm going to talk a little bit about the other Apple story, which is kind of weird. Jefferies downgrading Apple, $205.82 price target to $205.16. That's right, they dropped the price target by a modicum of cents. It was really weird. So that happened there with AAPL. The other thing with Apple and that Jefferies note is it has to do, oddly enough, with the iPhone 18, which we don't even get announced or have an event related to for another 11 months. But they said just the way that the iPhone 17 demand is and the context of that demand could lead to some issues with iPhone 18. They might not be able to keep up. They provided some sound reasoning. The less than $1 price target drop is laughable, but it is what it is, and I do not think the market cared.
Yeah, that's the thing. It doesn't look like the market cared. And here's the other thing too. Like when you consider, look, the ball doesn't lie. That's the other thing to consider. The ball doesn't lie, price doesn't lie. So you can have bad news all you want, but it's the market's reaction to news that matters. Stocks that buy up on bad news, you like. You know, that's, I really don't care. If you get bad news or perceived bad news and the market reacts to it by buying the dip or just buying it in a general sense, then to me, that's the most bullish action that you can have. But the Nikkei hitting all-time highs. And we got a question this afternoon. Someone asked us in the chat what our thoughts were, well, for myself and Sean, like what's our favorite international ETF? And I have to admit, I don't have a favorite. And I've never owned an international ETF. Like I'll cop to it. I've owned individual names like ASML internationally. It's probably the biggest non-North American stock that I've ever held is ASML. So I don't. And I wish I did have an answer for you, and it's probably something I should look into, but I'm not that diversified worldwide. But yeah, Nikkei hitting some all-time highs as well. But I wanted to get to this because someone asked in the chat, I mentioned I was gonna buy Pfizer, and I wanna answer this, because they're asking why I said I was buying Pfizer for myself in my personal account. So I'm just going to quickly answer that question we've got before we move on, because we'll talk about things that we're doing in our personal accounts all the time. And it had something to do with when we were just talking about relative strength in the market, how there was some in energy, and there has been some in the biotechs. Really strong, pharma's been strong, healthcare has been strong. And if you look at what's going on specifically with Pfizer, and this daily, has made a distinct bottom. Like I can even pull up a monthly chart on Pfizer to give you a better example. On the monthly chart here, whoa, what just happened on the monthly? Maybe I should, there we go. On a monthly, look at the bottoming tail, and it's breaking out a consolidation here, right off of those lows. And if I go back to that daily, just to give you an idea of what I saw, there's your higher lows, there's your breakaway, and now we're closing above this 27 level. So that's what I like about it. Hold here, take the long, give it down underneath like the 50-period moving average, and then Bob's your uncle. So that's what I'm seeing. It's relative strength in the space, a bottoming tail, a bottoming setup here on Pfizer, and just for a little bit of a swing trade. And the thing about it is it's not like a high-risk swing, because while I hold it, they actually have a dividend. So if you hold it for too long, you get the divvy. Nice. Which is not too bad on that stock. So yeah, that's the reason why I like some Pfizer. But everything goes right back, and let's sort of jump right back into things, because you were talking, Adara, specifically not just about the shutdown itself, but the developments we had today.
Yeah, there were some developments. So I do want to mention as well, with regards to another set of developments, senior Hamas official making some comments here to Al Jazeera, saying that handing over the hostages held in Gaza within 72 hours is, quote, theoretical and unrealistic. So it sounds like this whole deal, idea of a peace right now is not as rose-colored as we might have hoped. We also have other comments here, senior Hamas officials saying that issues related to Gaza's future to be discussed within a comprehensive Palestinian national framework in which Hamas will be a part of. So it sounds like we had these comments about the deal. There might be some complications here to work out. I don't think things are as clean as these initial headlines made it seem. So be aware of that, guys. There still seems like there's some things they're trying to iron out here. But with regards to the shutdown, yeah, we had more votes here. So Republicans not willing to back down and vote for the Democrat vote. Then we had, Democrats are not going to be voting for the Republican bill. They already rejected the Republican bill. Caroline Leavitt doing another White House press conference where she's urging the Democrats to end the shutdown and stop holding people hostage, as she put it. And either way, things continue. Honestly, it's hard to know what kind of difference is going to be made here, because as Chuck Schumer put it, to paraphrase him greatly, things didn't change. We had the same result in the votes. We should not be surprised by that. I don't know what it's going to take, and it is unfortunate that this is still happening, but there needs to be some kind of resolution here, and hopefully people can work that out. That would be great.
Yeah, and as we were saying earlier, just to keep in mind, I'm still looking, it's pulled back. Yeah, it's pulled back a little bit, but we're now looking at 17.7 days here up on Kalshi for how long will the government shutdown last, and that is not trending in the right direction. It was sitting at 15 for most of the day, and then it spiked up on some of the comments you were mentioning there, Adara, and certainly seeming like this is going to be protracted. Now, it's worth mentioning when we did have a protracted shutdown 5 years ago, it did represent a buying opportunity. That's something Michael Noss talked about.
Like 12%.
Yeah, we're 12% to the upside, but it still has looked relatively weak. It is not my birthday, everybody.
Yeah, people keep saying.
I just like in the chat, there's a bunch of happy birthday Neils. My birthday's on Boxing Day. But thank you. That's very nice of everybody to mention that, but it is absolutely not my birthday. The other thing we got this morning was ultimately we got the payroll numbers not coming through.
Yeah.
And I think that didn't seem to have too much of effect one way or another. We might be, and I think when we don't get economic data, right? We shouldn't expect it to be that big of a deal, because right now, when have we cared terribly about inflation or jobs reports when they give us a shock. So the absence of anything cannot shock us. And so it puts us in this wait and hold mode, and then we should just be looking to any comments from the Fed, and then that's going to move the market. So I'm not terribly worried about data that we're not getting. I just want to hear what the Fed is talking about. And unfortunately today, like most of the reaction to the market has been to the sell side, unfortunately for it. But overall, it's hard not to talk about. It feels like this happened 2 days ago as well, Adara, where there was late news on Intel, and then it kind of trumped a lot of things. And so what happened with Intel, like 2 days ago, we were talking about AMD foundry deal.
Yes.
And now 2 days later, we're talking about maybe not having AMD as a foundry partner, or client, I should say, customer. And so Intel, unfortunately, and this is why we caution people that if it's a rumor of a deal happening, no one's actually put pen to paper, there's nothing wrong with taking some profit, because this did a heavy, heavy right turn late in the day on that headline. Like everything was cruising, and then we dropped down pretty heavily. And if you look at where Intel's sitting at on the daily chart, it was at a great profit-taking point as well. So I think congratulations if you did ring the register on it. So not official, and potentially maybe not happening, this AMD Intel foundry deal.
Yeah, it sounds like it's not happening at all. So this came from Semi-Accurate, a news source. I don't know why they're named that. It seems very misleading, but either way, Semi-Accurate said they talked to their people, and they're like, they basically only report on reported deals in the tech space, specifically with semiconductors. Their track record is a little mixed. I looked into it previously when they made other reports about Intel with regards to somebody buying them, and that did not happen. That was in September, and December of last year. That never happened. So I do want to mention that. I think the person they were kind of hinting could be a buyer was either Broadcom or TSM. And we know TSM wants something to do with Intel. Broadcom doesn't seem to either. Now, that's all to contextualize what the source is, because I think it's really important to understand where stories are coming from. Is Semi-Accurate accurate? I don't know. But I will say that they do have connections in that space. Apparently, after talking to parties on both sides of the issue, so Intel and AMD, they said no one even had heard anything of this before. There was no indication, even at all, that even talks were happening. So even the idea that they're in early talks seems to have been completely disputed, at least by this one in person.
Which is so crazy. Like and just to digress for a second, we all saw the trading action on Intel. We've seen a swath of stories in the last couple of years where you get these headlines and they're big time market movers, and then we find out a day later or 2 days later that there's nothing to it. And somebody, investigation should happen for things like that. But you know what? What we also have is we got our good friend Steve Tomlin. Let's bring him on in here. We always love to talk on a Friday with our good friend Steve. Hey, there he is, Steve Tomlin from Trade the Pool. And we were just talking about the competition that Trade the Pool is having as well. But welcome. I hope you had a fantastic week. It's certainly been a busy one. So first of all, how are things? How are you doing?
Oh, doing real well. Thank you. Yeah, busy week. Crazy things afoot. We've been all over the place here, but for us, USAR was a huge winner. So a lot to talk about for sure.
Well, I was gonna. Okay, well we can lead with that. We didn't have to start with USAR. I know you got to do a victory lap for that one. It's been absolutely fantastic. At some point, I want to get your thoughts on the quantum play as well. Maybe we'll circle back to that. But the theme has been, if the U.S. government wants to invest, then you win and just buy those stocks. Now, this was one before we got any specific headlines that you were already looking at. So walk us through what you were doing with it. Are you still holding, or what's your plan here? Because great look here on USAR, another 13% today.
Absolutely. So yeah, USAR. This was the one that I wanted to work since the start of the whole rare earth minerals kind of craze, when we saw MP just start to break out and run. But this is definitely considered the speculative name in the sector, and MP, that was the real leader. So this one took its time, but we're finally getting the breakout, and now we're just into blue skies here. So it should consolidate a little bit, but I think it's blue skies ahead. So my plan was I sold a good amount too early. I sold when we broke the previous highs around 2050. about a quarter there and then a quarter at close here. So I missed a lot of this gap up. I still have shares. I sold my options way too early, but I'm planning on holding. And if we fill the gap, I'm looking to buy more in this 23.50 to 24 area here, because like you said, if the government's getting involved, these things will keep running. And when you have a chart that's all base, you've got a lot of room to the upside here.
Yeah, and I love the fact that you're buying the dip back in, because we saw that with Lithium Americas, right? Like LAC, initial move, and then LAC pulled a bit of a dip as well, and then, whoops, let me go over to, LAC's on the New York, isn't it? And then LAC was able to catch another breakaway just recently, like it boom, dip, buy the dip, and then you get the second, you got one dip, you actually got a second dip, and then it just made more fresh highs. So this has not been the kind of play that's like, yeah, just take your profit and run. It's like, make sure you're participating in the longer rally. And it's a theme which in theory shouldn't be going away here, Steve. So here's a question I would have to you though. Is there anything macro related that would cause you to maybe get off of this bandwagon? Like we were discussing that the market getting at some highs and the shutdown, maybe cooling the market off in general. Would that scare you that some of these runners might also pull back if we were to have some kind of a market dip?
You know, I'm on the fence here. So I'm keeping an eye on these momentum names, but as long as names like OKLO, for example, or these quantum baskets, we can pull up what's been going recently. Yeah, IONQ is still trading at highs. So I was joking with my friends, like I don't even use VIX anymore. I just take an inverse chart of IONQ, and that's how I monitor volatility. You know, so risk on is still in effect here. I think that any government stuff in terms of shutdown, I think they're buying opportunities. In terms of actual tail risks, policy-wise, I'm not seeing anything on the immediate horizon, and as for charts, everything's looking bullish to me. So I'm continuing to look for new opportunities to put cash to work.
Yeah, I actually really like that notion. Just look, don't even look at the VIX, just look at IONQ, and if that trend reverses, that is certainly truth. I got to ask you, RFID Trader just asked us what strikes and month you bought from USAR. You said you got out of your options. Which, whatever, wins a win. A win's a win.
So I'm prefacing this just because it sounds insane. You're going to think I'm completely insane for buying 21 strike weeklies, but I saw somebody else buying them, and I said, hey, that looks like a fun way to spend $10. So I bought a few of those. I sold for 600%. They went 2,000%. My main position was 20 strike October 17th calls. And the reason why I went with that is because it was trading at about 18 then. I bought it off the 8 EMA, and I figured this is reasonable enough to, if it chops around a little bit before it goes, I won't get chopped out of this option contract. And if it does do what I expect, it'll be so deep in the money that I can keep holding on to this and capture the full move. Now, of course, I woke up to big number on my screen, so I sold, and I wish I didn't. But that was the theory behind the contract I selected there.
Well, thank you for answering that question. Appreciate it. We, our viewers, are always going to be curious of little things like that. And no one ever went broke taking a profit. I've been instructed by the chat to say, I don't think it's your birthday, but there's a thing going on today that it's happy birthday, everybody. So happy birthday, Steve, because the chat wants me to say that. Well, they've been saying happy birthday, Adara. They said happy birthday to me as well. Sometimes we just have fun with it. And maybe we got lucky and it is your birthday. I have no idea. Is it? No.
I'll take it. Not today, but happy birthday to you as well.
I'll take it. It's also not my birthday, but Steve, look, going into next week, right? Like, okay, so we've got the government shutdown. The odds of it are going higher. I'm now starting to actually look at Kalshi intraday to see when the odds are going up, because we actually had a market curl to the downside when the odds jumped, that it would go from like 15 days to 19 days. So I'm curious, from a broad markets perspective, what are you looking at for next week? Because someone was asking, do you want to buy Robinhood? And like everything I was saying, outside of like smaller cap and maybe healthcare names being, I think, be some buys, I'm feeling a little bit bearish. What about you for next week?
You know, it's valid to be bearish up here, at least in terms of needing the bulls to prove themselves. You know, we poked our heads into new all-time highs. We're treading water at previous all-time highs on the Qs at least. So, you know, I understand your hesitance, and I think healthcare is amazing right here. So I like just about anything in the sector. I got involved with OSCR on today on the breakout right at open. So this is my choice, but I really like CNC as well. I like CI. Those are charts that have a lot of room to go up after these big gap downs. I bet UNH is still looking strong. I haven't checked it. Okay, yeah, it's having a little bit of trouble. But all these names are super strong and a great place to hide if you're a little bit scared of tech coming back down a little bit.
Yeah, I like that CNC call out. I actually, disclosure, right? This is a level that I trimmed some UNH at, just because this has been where it's having some trouble. I still think it can push through to that 400 level, but a very similar looking chart for that CNC, and a great call and a great look there for sure. So before we get you out of this, one thing I want to ask you, and this is self-serving because I'm a gigantic baseball fan, and I'm going to be at both Jays games, and I'm just curious, do you have a care or a dog in the fight in the MLB playoffs? And if you don't, then I invite you to join the Toronto Blue Jays bandwagon.
You know, I don't have a strong dog in this race, so I'd be happy to join the family. Let's do this.
See, now, this is a leading thing. And so I will now say this to you, Steve. If you ever find yourself in Toronto during baseball season, just to know, you know, I'm a gigantic fan of the season ticket holder. If you would ever like to see a game and you're in town, then I'll take you to a Blue Jays game and we'll have a good time. Maybe crack a beer. But as always, it's always a blast having you. Great call out on that USAR. That's a big one, and it seems like we might not be, I don't want to say the first inning of it for a baseball analogy. Well, I don't think we're in the 7th or 8th inning of that kind of a play. It does feel like we're somewhere in the 3rd or 4th inning of what could be a fantastic breakout. If the U.S. government wants to buy, then you might as well give it a try, right?
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me on, and have a great weekend. If anybody would like to come out and hang out, I'm doing a webinar over at Trade the Pool's YouTube channel there. And we're going to do some market profile concepts and then look at some charts together. So feel free to come on by.
There he is. And thank you again for sharing. And thank you, Steve. Always a blast having you. Have a fantastic weekend. We'll talk to you next week, brother.
Thank you. Take care.
All right. Take care, brother. USAR. That has been an absolute barn burner and a great call out there by Steve. See, that's something that you wearing red couldn't hurt at all there, Adara. And what's interesting is, why don't you tell us that you're wearing? No, I'm just kidding.
No, it's not a plan and it's not intentional, and I really don't. Like, sometimes it doesn't even work. There have been times, oddly enough, since the inauguration, I've noticed it, where, because before that it would work every time. Since the inauguration, the red indicator is not perfect, and it used to be. Green was never perfect. Red was perfect until the inauguration. So I don't know about that, but yeah, today it ended up working. So
you want to hear something weird?
What?
And this is, I've never had a negative day wearing this purple shirt.
Huh?
Yeah, it's kind of. Anyways, it's not like, I don't wear it that often, but it's in the rotation.
Yeah, it's part
and
of
But I'm not one of those that's, it doesn't really matter to me, but it's just a weird thing that actually happens to be true. But let's be real here for a second. There's something we do at the end of the show.
Yes.
More importantly, something Adara does at the end of the show. And it's a lot of fun. And it's fast and it's furious and it's called Roll Call. And to be part of Roll Call, jump in the chat right now. It's a subscribers only chat. So jump in there, hit the subscribe button. And because we're wishing happy birthdays, not that it's anybody's birthday around here, this time we're going to switch it up. And everybody in the chat is going to say happy birthday, as I'm literally typing it myself. Happy birthday, Fabian. Why not?
Joe's birthday, actually, on Sunday. I think that's why this all started. But.
Okay, fine. Happy birthday, Joe or Fabian. Because I'm saying happy birthday, Fabian, because no one said happy birthday, Fabian yet. Or happy birthday to Joe, and let's get some roll call action.
Yeah, let's get started. Thank you to Neil, Sean. We had Joe and Obi today in the midday. Brendan, Fabian, Ramin, Andre, and everybody in the chat. Everybody you see, everybody don't say Ishiro, Volky, Dream Angels Garden, TJ Morty, Viral 86, After Star Thomas, Tim the Danny Dollars, Garov, Lamont Hutchinson, Do the Wave, Tim Jordy. We've got DJ 2AM, Julia's Journal Diary, Steve Guilford, RFID Trader. We've got RIN, Tyrone Hamilton, Big 40 Nephew, Alan Newton Jr., Byron Hart, Mike Lord, Southern Shores, Carol Walther, High Vibrations, Marie. We've got Bright Awakening, Sir Poopy Paper Hands, Carl Gruen, GFN, David Treziak, Joseph Brown, Pelican, Y Brothers United, Northwest Sasquatch, Donkey Trader, Henrik, and we'll end here with Harry Lou. Thank you guys so much for being here every single day. Happy birthday, Joe. And we'll see you all on Monday, where the government will still probably be shut down because they can't vote again until 5:30 p.m. on Monday.
Putting you on the spot. Favorite kind of cake?
Oh, I like red velvet.
Oh, great call.
Or
great
like
call.
sprinkle. I can't really do chocolate, so anything that's not chocolate.
Red velvet is
fantastic.
What about
you, red velvet?
Yeah. I'm a pie guy, not a cake guy. Ice cream cake is the best, but that doesn't count.
Like
when you said red velvet, I'm like, that's the one.
Reese's Pieces ice cream cake or something. That's like I had that once, and that was.
Yes.
But I like ice cream sandwiches too.
Oh my good.
Yeah.
Let's not talk too much about ice cream. Now I want to have an ice cream bar. But you know what, everybody? Make sure you enjoy what's been a fantastic week during government shutdown. Rest up, have some ice cream cake, red velvet, whatever it might be. Celebrate Joe's birthday on Sunday. And let's meet back here at 8:30, bright and early. This has been the Market Recap Show brought to you by Beta Pro by Globex. Have a good weekend, and we'll see you on Monday.